monk or monastic or whatever you like. So this is basically a spiritual center for Buddhists. And now I would like to invite you to experience a taste of spirituality. So make yourself comfortable, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. I'm going to lead you into a few minutes of relaxing meditation. Breathe normally, breathe comfortably, breathe evenly, breathe naturally. All meditation, irrespective of whatever traditions, they are founded on the mindfulness of breath. Because the breath is so wonderful, it is so you, it is so cool. So bring your attention as you breathe in, as you breathe out, as you're breathing in, as you're breathing out. Nothing else matters. Just you and your breath. Just you and your breath. Let the music relax you as you relax yourself. Further and further. Experiencing a taste of spirituality. Let all worries go, let all tensions melt away. This is your moment. You deserve it. It's good enough for you. Now as you breathe in, you will feel that your breath goes through your chest. And try now to bring it further down to the inside of the navel area. There's an advantage to this. Because as you breathe through your chest, you only get a chest full of fresh air or oxygen. But you can feel the whole body, chest and navel area with oxygen, you're getting the double the benefit of this. So try to breathe through the navel area instead of just the chest. As you breathe out, relax and keep relaxing. There's no secret to meditation. Just being yourself, just relaxing. And that's good enough for a start. If you feel any parts of your body still yet to relax, so relax that particular part of the body as you breathe out. Simply bring your attention to the parts of the body you need to relax, to make yourself more and more comfortable. Being with the moment, being with yourself. Once you understand the benefit of meditating, and once you know how to meditate, you can do it anytime, anywhere you choose to be. So simply, breathe normally, breathe comfortably, breathe evenly, relax, and keep relaxing. Relax the body, free the mind. Relaxing the body, freeing the mind. That's all there is to it. If you're feeling an immediate sense of calm, you're already experiencing the advantage of meditation, which in itself is a taste of spirituality. It doesn't matter who you are, what you believe in, what you do. No, this is about you. No one else. This moment is yours. Remember that every time you get to enjoy meditation. Okay, now to proceed with the program, we're going to invite Kenny Liu to introduce and tell you more about the temple.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome again to the Reader Society. We have the honor with Master Venerable Master Hui Shen. Hui means wisdom, Shen means sagehood. So a very, the name means a wise sage, a wise person. So definitely through the experience that you can see that this experience is coming from wise guidance. So we're very honored to have the Venerable Master with us. And on the other side is Venerable Chang Le, meaning often happiness or constant happiness. So we see the Master, how happy he is. So we are very honored to have these two Venerable Masters participating in today's program to welcome you. So today's program will include introductions of the main hall. We call this the main hall. And then we'll go over to the other side with the lecture hall. We'll give you a brief presentation and then answer your questions. Okay, again, my name is Kenny Liu. This is Venerable Master Hui Shen, Huisheng. And over there is Venerable Master Chang Le, Changle, Chang Le. Okay. What we will do is, so what we do is often within a Buddhist monastery, we do incense offering. And if I could ask the Venerable to demonstrate the incense offerings that you can see. It's very meaningful in a Buddhist monastery to do incense offering because this is part of the service, part of who we are. Is that when we make offering to the incense offering to the Buddha, it is not about idolizing Buddha's statue. It's very important to understand that. And what we're doing here is when we make an offering to the Buddha, we are doing very sincerely. It's about our sincerity. And when we make offering, we visualize of how you can see the smoke permeating throughout the universe. So our loving kindness, our compassion, our wisdom, we wish that all will have good health, joy, and prosperity. So we, not only just for ourselves, but we want everybody throughout the whole universe. That is our aspiration, is that everyone will have joy, good health, and prosperity. So that is a meaning of offering incense. And the Venerable will demonstrate to us how to do the
As I make this offering, may I, with the utmost sincerity and utmost great gratitude from the deepest part of myself and my heart, may I offer this incense to all the holy ones, God and all gods. May I offer this incense to all those who suffer. May they end their sufferings. May I offer this incense to all sentient beings in all the universes. May they be happy and happier and happier. May they enjoy a rewarding life. May they succeed in whatever they do. May there be light, be joy, be peace in all the worlds.
Before we continue, I would like to ask the two volunteers. One on this side. Volunteer, anybody? Yes, you. Come on up. And then one on this side. Yeah, you. Yes, yeah, come on. Here, stand up. Okay, you go to the side, and then you go to this side. What's your name? Captain, and then yours? Joe. Okay, Captain, go that side. Joe, go to that side.
This side, please.
Okay. Okay, so what we normally have here are the three statues very obvious in front of you. And these statues here represent the middle is called Amitabha. It's a Buddha in the Western Pyramid called Amitabha, Amitabha in Chinese, representing equality. And then on the left-hand side here, or your left-hand side here, is called great strength Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is also a sage or a person who is very close to enlightenment, very close to the Buddha. The Buddha himself represents enlightenment. And then on your right-hand side is called Avalokitesvara, which is compassion, Buddha of compassion. So these two here represent, one is compassion and strength, and together when they are united to perfection, you have Amitabha representing purity or representing equality. So that's one way of understanding. Now, these statues here that you can see are symbolisms in Buddhism. There is a great difference between idolizing and revering, showing respect. In Buddhism, there is no idolization because the meaning behind idolization is that you treat an object as if it was a real person, a super person, and you would feed that person, you would make breakfast for that person, you would shower or take a bath of that person, you make food offering, you play music. You treat that person as that doll, that figure, as if it was a real person. But we don't treat the Buddha statues like that. To the Buddha, these are representations of our inner equalities, our compassion, our strength. These are things that we all have, but sometimes it is difficult for us to uncover to those strengths. For example, it is very difficult for us to be compassionate towards everybody. We may be compassionate, we may have loving kindness towards our friends, our close friends, but when it comes to strangers, we have reservation. Or when it comes to our foes and enemies, people who hate us, or people who we hate, we have reservation. So the Buddha is teaching us, break down the barrier, have strength, your inner strength, and show your compassion. Don't be afraid to cross that boundary, because this is about equality. Equality to show to all. So that's the spirit of Buddhism, is to break down the barrier to achieve enlightenment, to uncover our inner qualities of great strength and compassion. Does it make sense? So that is the spirit of Buddhism. And here in the middle, we have a figure of Shakyamuni Buddha. This is our historical Buddha, a prince who was born in India 3,000 years ago. And he uncovered the truth, and he shared the truth with others so that others could overcome their worries and suffering, just achieve a state of no suffering. And we also have these Dharma protectors figures, and these are, again, representations of how we should live. On this side is an honorable life, a life of virtue, a life of commitment, a life of honor. We don't run away for self-benefit, but we treat others with honor, and we hold to our commitment. So when we look at these figures, that's what they remind us, is to uncover our inner abilities. They are not to be worshipped, but we worship them because we can only learn if we respect something. Does it make sense? Right? If you don't respect something, you don't learn from it because you see no value in it. So we try to see these values, the values in these figures is also like a reflection of mirror. So when we look at these figures, that's how we think. And also, we put on these garments, these robes, for a purpose. When we come in here, I as a lay practitioner, wear black robe, and then the masters, they have the brown robe. And when we come together for service, we all dress alike so that we minimize distraction. You come in with pink, you come in with red, it can be very distracting with shorts, with different clothing styles can be very distracting. So we come here, so it helps us to focus. And we also have these Dharma instruments to help us to guide when we chant. Very melodic, very rhythmic, so it helps us to chant. And when you can focus on something that's very melodic, very rhythmic, it's easy to focus the mind. When the mind is calm, the body is calm. And when the body is healthy, the body is calm, the mind is also calm. So I will show you, Captain and Joe, how to hit the instruments. It may sound a little bit strange because you're not used to it, probably the first time you see these instruments, right? So what we do is like, this is called wooden fish. This is called a big wooden fish. This is the small wooden fish. That's a big bell, that's a handheld bell. We strike this every syllable, like mi, po, very different. We just continue to chant because music resonates with the mind very well. So we use music, all religions, all studies, you use music, even you listen to music to calm down the body. So it has that special function. And then the bell there is every other syllable. So just these two instruments can produce very beautiful music. The kind of music that can stimulate and excite in a way, in a calming way, not excite in a way where you want to trash your guitar or something like that. Not that kind of excitement, but the excitement is very calming. Okay, so you hit every syllable. Joe, you hit every other syllable. Okay. Mi, po, right here. Mi, po, And then Joe, that should be another gift for you. Thank you. All right. And then one last demonstration before we head over to the other side is called drum. This set here is also a very important component in the Dharma assembly. So I'll give you a quick demonstration. Enriching the environment, but also to help calm the mind, to help us to focus.
I just add something. So when you join a Buddhist liturgical function or an event, it's like you're joining an orchestra. Okay, so we have the musical instruments, but instead of being musical instruments, we call them the Dharma instruments because they bring in a sense of spirituality. Okay, so that enlivens the whole event.
Yeah.
So when you join in a liturgical function.
So we have to point it very well because you can imagine hitting wood fish and then the bell, but also the drum, so everything has to be well coordinated. And so when we have classes here to help us how to learn how to chant in a way that's suiting to those who participate, but also to play in such a way that's soft enough to calm the mind, but loud enough to be heard. So it's a very delicate balance that we have to maintain. So it's very good. If you're interested, you can always come here to learn. We're happy to have you here. Come and learn with us. Are there any questions before we move over to the other side? Okay. Any questions? Okay, you can reserve your questions to the side you like. All right, if there are no other questions, please rise and we move to the other side of the building. Retrieve your shoes and then move over to the other side.
All right.
right, good morning again. On this side, what we call the lecture hall and also the dining hall. And this is what we have lectures. When we have venerable masters come here, we have lectures here, discussions as well. So today I'll give you a very brief introduction to the Buddha and his teaching, and then we will open up for questions. And what I would like today is for the parents and teachers to participate, to be part of the fun, right? And students may not be asking questions, but we're hoping that you will ask the questions on their behalf to make it fun, right? So everybody, 100% participation to make it fun. You agree? Okay, so a couple of logistic things. The water is for you to keep. Okay, the paper is also for you to write on, but a pencil, please leave them. Pencil. We need the pencils. We have plenty of water and paper, just not enough pencils. Okay. The life of the Buddha. What was the name of the prince that was born in India to become the Buddha later on? Anybody? You? Siddhartha Gautama, yes. All right. Here's a gift for you. What's your name? Angie. Thank you, Angie. Yes, Siddhartha Gautama. Siddhartha was his name. Gautama was his you call tribe name or family name, and he was born in Lumbini, modern day today Nepal. His name means one who achieves. So you can see that his father had great aspiration for him, for Siddhartha, because his father was looking for somebody to carry on the lineage of his kingdom. So he was the son of King Suhodana and Queen Maya. When he was born, it was a tradition in India and other cultures as well to have astrologers come in and make predictions of the sun, because they want to make sure that they had enough proper preparations for the sun. So they invited many astrologers. It was said that like 500 astrologers to make predictions, and they came down to two predictions. One was that he was going to be either a great king or a great monk, somebody who would lead to search for the truth. But they didn't know what he would be for sure. So the king wanted to know for sure. So he invited another astrologer, very famous, and it was Asita. And Asita came and made a strong prediction that this young prince was going to leave the palace to seek the truth. And the king did not like that at all. He wanted somebody to stay back to carry on the lineage and not to leave the lineage. So he built beautiful palaces to keep the prince entertained, to not have to leave the palace, so he would be forgetting about his search for the truth. And so he was a very talented prince. The king invited many famous teachers to come to teach the prince, such as archery, fencing. Now you have to remember that during that time, each kingdom would have to defend themselves. They have to protect themselves against other invaders. And so it was very common for, especially the caste that he was in, that he was in the caste of a warrior. So his father trained him to become a warrior, and he was a great warrior. But he did not go to war. The only time that we were able to see his martial skills was when his father put him up for marriage. There was a nearby country who has a very beautiful daughter, and the king wanted to marry his daughter to the right person. So the king did not want to offend the neighboring countries, so he had this contest. And Siddhartha was able to come and demonstrate his archery skills, his martial arts skills. So that was the only time, a glimpse in history, that we could see how powerful he could be as a warrior. But he did not exercise those skills. Instead, he exercised the skills in searching for the truth, because when he went out to observe his own country, he saw 4 things. What were those 4 things that he saw? They're called 4 sights. What were the 4 sights? Yes, you. What was the first one?
Sick man.
Sick man. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But yes, but it was not the first one. I'll give you that. Okay, I have one more here. What was the first sight? Yes. An old man, yes. Your name?
Aaron Harris.
Huh?
Aaron Harris.
Aaron. Okay. Congratulations. What's your name? What's your name? John? Okay. By the way, we will have a gift for everybody today, so don't miss that. But thank you for participating. Yes, so he was a well-loved student, and yes, when he went, it was said that he went out to observe his country, and he saw the first sight, old age, sickness, and then death. So these are three big problems that humanity faces. But of course, you're not too concerned about that. You're probably too young to recognize these as problems. And then he felt hopeless when he saw these because he didn't have an answer. But then when he saw a holy man meditating, he felt like he had found answer. He felt like he had seen hope. But what does this all mean to Buddhists, as Buddhists? Because I mean, Buddha was a person 3,000 years ago that I personally have not met. So what does it mean to me? When I look at this, how it means to me is when it teaches me how to see problems clearly. When we recognize problems, even everyday life, at work, at school, whatnot, we see problems of old age, sickness, and death. And so it's not just only in a pessimistic way, but when we do something, we recognize the problem. Just like when you do your homework, you recognize the problem. Right? You recognize this is a problem of math, or this is a problem of history, or this is a problem for an essay, or whatnot. So you first recognize the problem. So that's what Buddhism is teaching me, is to recognize the problem. And then the holy man is to seek that answer. So we don't give up hope just because we face problems in our life. But we continue to look around, we consult with other people. So he saw this person and it gave him motivation. So that's what Buddhism is teaching me, is to look for others. Don't close yourself up just because you have a problem. Talk to somebody about it. And what this also means is that how we behave. That monk was sitting there, Siddhartha did not have a chance to talk to him, but because the monk was sitting so calm, serene, so happy, it gave him hope. So what it taught me was that how we act could influence other people. When you go to class, right? When you sit down, you don't talk, you don't chat. When you listen to your teacher, when the teacher gives you your lesson, and another student comes in or another teacher comes in and says, wow, this class is so great. Look at this class. You look at the students. They well behaved. And the other person observing may not recognize, may not talk to you, but all of a sudden they say, yeah, we need to do something to make things even better or to support the students. So even our behavior could change somebody. So that's what the fourth sight is teaching me, is when we just by sitting there, you could give somebody inspiration. When you are there for your friends, right, you can give your friends inspiration, right? So we're here to help each other as friends. So that's what these four sites are teaching me. Okay, hopefully you learn something from these four sites as well. So we don't have to wait till we see somebody old, but just look around, right? How we see each other. Sometimes people need help, but they don't say it, and we can ask them. And sometimes how we behave could have a great impact on another person, and we don't even know it. Okay. So the fourth noble truth. What is the first truth in the Four Noble Truths? Does anybody know? Have you learned this? Yes.
There's suffering in life.
Yeah, suffering. Your name? Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. I give for you later. Yeah, so the first truth is called dukkha. Dukkha is to translate as suffering is not complete, because dukkha is really satisfaction in a sense, not in a negative sense, a pessimistic sense, but really in a sense of that you are motivated to find something better. For example, if you have taken a test and you receive a D, and you say, I'm not happy with this, I want an A. Or even you get an A, you say, no, I'm not happy with it, I want an A+. So that is dissatisfaction in a positive sense. Does it make sense? So when in Buddhism, we see life as suffering or dissatisfaction because we know that we can achieve something better. We just don't want to grow up, go to work, have family, and then die. And then repeat that process according to Buddhism. We say, no, there's got to be something better than that cycle. We can do better to help humanity. It's not meaningful just to live a life and be happy with our family, but what about your neighbors, right? With your community? Let's do something about it. I'm not satisfied that there are people who have not received a proper education, or there's still a lot of homeless people. What can we do about it? So I feel dissatisfied because I'm not doing enough. That's what it means in Buddhism. So second is, what can we do about it? We just don't go and say, it's your fault, it's the government's fault, or whoever, right? No, let's work together to find solutions. So that's the second truth is, what's the cause of the suffering? Why are people homeless? Why does our city have so many problems? Why is there so much trash, for example? Well, people are not receiving proper education. They don't care about environment. Let's educate them. Right? So that's the second truth. So it's to find a solution, why things happen, why problems happen. Then the third is cessation, is where once we have found the root of the problem, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Say, cessation is that, yes, that's the answer. Now, I found my answer. And then the fourth is how to get there. So it's not say, I would like world peace. But what does that mean, how we do it? Well, let's start with treating a family properly. Let's care about our friends. Let's care about our teachers. So step by step. So in the Eightfold Path, I summarize and say, do the right things, teamwork, and selfishness, and see things clearly. Don't be so emotionally wrapped up. So that's what the Fourth Noble Truths are teaching us. Does it make sense? So one thing about here is that true happiness leads to no suffering, and that leads to nirvana. So in Buddhism, we don't focus much on happiness, but we focus on no suffering. Because the thinking here is that if you're still chasing after happiness, then that is still selfishness. You're chasing after happiness for yourself. If you're chasing something, then you can never get there by definition, right? That's what you're chasing. So if you think that you need to chase happiness, that means you don't have happiness. So if you keep chasing, then how can you ever have happiness? So we just have to stop and say, no suffering. No suffering is like there is no egoistic drive. So that's Buddhist thinking. There's no egoistic drive where I need to have this. Well, if you drop, let's say I need to have happiness. If you drop the I, then that is happiness. Because of the drive, the I that separates you from you and your happiness. The so-called your happiness. So Buddhism is, for Buddhists, very applicable. We just have to learn it properly, and we just have to bring it down to the human level. Let's treat each other properly. Let's recognize that there is a problem. Let's work together to find the cause of the problem. And let's work together to recognize that, yes, this is the common goal we want to achieve. And then let's work together to lay the foundation. These are the things we have to do. First, treat each other properly. Second, be less selfish. Fourth, work together as a team and see things clearly. Don't be so emotionally wrapped up just because things don't go our way. Things will never go our way. But you recognize that, right? When you're out with your friends may want to play games. Your friends may want to go have a drink, whatnot. But then you want to eat hamburger. So if you say, I need this to be this way, then you are in a way creating problems. So let's work together, right? Let's work together to have a common solution. Okay, this week we'll go drink some tea or boba, perhaps. Then next week we'll go have hamburger, and then the following week we'll go play games. So this way everybody can see the solution and not say, I want it this way. I need it to be this way, then it's no longer, we won't be able to get cessation, which is happiness, true happiness, no suffering. So that's, in Buddhism, that's how we understand Buddhism. Okay. So at this point, we have about 35 minutes or 40 minutes for questions and answers. And I would like to invite Venerable Hui Sheng to come and Venerable Chandler to come up here and give their view of what they think, how they understand Buddhism, And again, I would like everybody, I would go around the room, everybody would like to ask a question, any question, fair game. Because this is about learning. If you don't ask questions, then we won't be able to learn if we don't ask questions. So whether it's wrong or right, we need to ask the questions if we want to learn. Does it make sense? Okay. All right, so why don't we start from here, and then we'll go around the room, and we'll like everybody to think about one question about Buddhism that you would like to see, or something you have seen outside, and say, how is this related to Buddhism? Or how would Buddhism answer this question? As how does Buddhism see this about this issue or this topic? It doesn't have to be a problem. It's just like what are your comments? What do you think about this? Right? So it's not necessarily a question that you may have, but perhaps you may have heard somewhere, and you see how does Buddhism see this from one perspective. So we would like to hear and learn from you, and we'd like to share Buddhism with you as well. Okay, Virginia, Haley, your questions?
What does the writing say?
What's the writing say? Maybe Venerable Masters, the writing.
The writing 以戒为师 because in the spiritual practice we need a foundation to practice on, so we practice undisciplined. You will know that if someone is disciplined, he can get things done, or she can achieve a lot of things. Okay, so discipline is the first
That's the
thing.
top one.
So discipline would be by master, because the Buddha has passed away, so it's no longer with us. So we refer to his teachings, especially the discipline that is passed down to as the teacher. And the other one is 以苦为师. We heard about the Four Noble Truths. So other than the discipline, what can be my teacher? What can teach me about life? That is the true understanding or perfect comprehension of dukkha, which is non-satisfaction.
Does it make sense? You mean?
Chesney? Can you like reincarnate into anything?
Can you reincarnate into anything? Anything as long as it's sentient beings. If we are sentient beings, meaning we have awareness. You cannot reincarnate into a plant, because a plant is insentient. Although it does have a way of protecting itself, but there's no consciousness. The plant doesn't have consciousness. There is a desire to protect itself, but in a natural way, not like our desire where we desire to, for example, like a person who has a desire, even though a person is very full, but then he still wants to eat or to destroy something. A plant doesn't have. You feed enough, it needs nutrients, but once it has its nutrients, then it doesn't crave for more. So that desire is different. That's a natural desire, but there is no consciousness. So yes, you can reincarnate into any. In Buddhism, it's called 6 rounds: a round of hell, round of hungry ghosts, a round of animals, human beings, and a round of demigods, and a round of heaven beings. So you can reincarnate according to Buddhism in any of those 6 realms.
In order for us to be reincarnation in those 6 realms, we have to do the practice. We have to, like this one says, use regulation,
Yeah.
discipline. We have to follow the steps in order for us to be born in human or to be born in heaven. And if we don't keep the precept correctly, we'll fall down to 3 secondary realms, which is evils, demigods, and animals realms. That is right.
Hungry ghosts,
Hungry
hell,
ghosts.
hungry ghosts, and animal realms. Let me just take a quick second on that. When we say like the hell, there is a place of suffering, but also it's also a mental thing. Like we can have a human body, but a person can have a human body, a normal human body, but can still suffer. Like you've probably seen that people with depression, for example, or a person who acts rudely like an animal. You can say that person acts like an animal. So that person is living in a way an animal realm. Does not have the human characteristic. That person is so barren. He acts like an animal. So when we say the 6th realm, it is a physical but also a mental thing as well. So it depends on how we take it. Because what you see is not necessarily reality. When we are happy, we see somebody, we think that person is nice. Or when we are upset, the same person, we may think that person is what, ugly or detest. No, that person is not as good as we think. So, but that person is that person. But how we perceive reality is another thing. So the 6 realms that I was talking about, it could be a mental thing, but it could also be a physical thing. Does it make sense? So it depends on how we perceive reality. And that reality is your own creation in a sense. Right? And when you're happy, everything is positive. When you're negative, everything is negative. But the reality is reality. So our own bias makes us see reality negatively or positively. And so Buddhism talks about loving kindness. It's not just to be nice, but it helps to improve your own reality.
My name is Morgan. My question is, how long do you usually meditate every day?
How long do you meditate every day? Morgan asks.
Depends on you. How much time do you have? How much time you want to devote to your meditation, right? For example, when you get up before you get down from the bed, you can just sit comfortably and meditate for 5 minutes. And the same thing before you go to sleep, you can do that. But if you want to prolong the session, you can do it anytime when you feel comfortable. So the only thing you have to be careful is if you're feeling tired, trouble, so try not to meditate because that may worsen the situation. Clear the mind first, make sure the body's comfortable, go get a bath or whatever, take a walk, and when you feel you're calm down and you meditate, you will really experience that sense of spirituality, and you will go far from that.
So meditation, what you just experienced, well, there's 2 ways, direct and indirect. When you were sitting in the Buddha hall, you were meditating directly. But that's an indirect way is how you interact with other people. When you face problems, right, we just talked about, you will still maintain calm. You can still see things very clearly. That's one way of practicing meditation. It's not just a matter of sitting down, but the bigger portion of it is how you deal with the problem. You can see things very clearly because meditation helps us to be creative. Meditation is very positive. You may not, maybe you recognize nowadays because students are now overwhelmed with schoolwork and teachers too. But that is because the world demands a lot from us. So when we practice meditation, we are giving ourselves a buffer to absorb a lot of stress. When you sit in meditation, you calm down, you can absorb more stress. But not only that, it makes you creative. We have to be creative in solving problems. But we have to be creative in teaching students. We have to be creative in doing our work. Meditation gives you this flow of positivity that allows you to see things very clearly, creatively, because you can see solutions in a problem.
Just let me add on to that. So when you meditate, what you're doing is you're opening up the mind. When you open up the mind, many doors open. You will see things you've never seen before, or things you neglect before. And it helps you very much in your path of life, or in your journey of life.
So meditation is not about Buddhism. Meditation is about how to have a happy life, positive, creative, happy life. So anybody can practice meditation, and anyone should practice meditation because it's very positive and very healthy. Yes.
When you meditate, the happy is the inside of you. You see happy. Not only to help you to solve your own problems, but you see when you calm down, what will you think? You feel happy, right? You feel relaxed, right? That's where you get happy. So you should practice more meditation.
Catherine, your question, please.
Is there like
Is there any strict rule in Buddhism?
Okay, do no evil, do whatever is good, help yourself and help others. Be good to yourself, be good to others, and be good to life.
So the strictness is don't hurt other people. Yes. Okay. Can you receive good karma after experiencing bad karma?
Definitely not. If you want to plant
orange, will you get an orange? Or you get a lemon? Orange, right? So when you do good deed, you definitely get a good result. So when you do bad thing, you get a bad result. So even though with the action you do bad, or you thought thinking of something bad, it will come back to you. Imagine when you hit the ball into the wall, right? And what the ball reaction will come back to you. The same thing when you do the good thing, come back to you. They're very simple. You do good thing, you get a good result. You bad thing, you get the bad result. Would I answer your question? If Kenny or Master, you have any input?
Okay, let's do a simple experiment. Face each other as a pair and just smile. How do you feel? Good, right? So that's how you do it in life. Simple as that. Thank you. Any question? Yeah. Which one?
Oh, do people know when a person is a bodhisattva? Does a person know that he or she is a bodhisattva?
Okay, so first we have to understand what is the basic meaning of a bodhisattva. Anyone would like to try? What is the bodhisattva?
No, he asked if anyone knows what it is.
So what does a bodhisattva do? Okay, think about Buddhism and what about the community of people that they react with? What do they have to do? What is the duty as a human being or as a superhuman being in real life? Is okay. So the basic principle of a bodhisattva is you know how to serve. Serve without being selfish. Serve without putting conditions on others. You serve because you have the ability to serve others. Just like your teachers, they serve you all the time. You may not know that sometimes they suffer because of you, okay, because of what things you do, because of things that are out of their control, but they are like true bodhisattvas because they serve without any conditions. They want you to improve in your studies, to go better and better, to do better and better. Maybe one day go to one of the best universities. Why not? Because all of you have this equal opportunities. So it's up to you how you want to walk the path of your life. And the function of a bodhisattva is teach you on that path of life. But you must walk the path yourself. Okay?
Yeah. So a person does know that he or she is a bodhisattva because of his or her action, but he does not proclaim, I'm a bodhisattva, I'm a great human being, but I just serve. So that is a true bodhisattva. So yes, the person should know that he or she is a bodhisattva by his action towards other people. Does it make sense? You have a question? So what happens to the souls when the solar system is destroyed and this earth is destroyed? So where do they go? Where do the souls go? What master?
回答没关系。
Okay, so this is a bit of a profound question. So first of all, we have to understand what composes of this body of us. It's the body and the mind, okay? And some people think that the mind is the brain. But in the deeper sense of Buddhism, the mind is not the brain because the mind goes beyond the brain. So when you pass away, what goes beyond the physical body? It is that state of mind. Okay? We try to not call it a soul because it has no solid identity. It's not solid, it's not substantial. You can call it a kind of spiritual energy, if you like, but to refer to it in a scientific term. Okay? So we call it this state of mind when you get reborn into different realms or different animal realm, realm of heavens, realm of hells, or whatever. It is the state of mind that brings you to that state. But once you got to that state, physical body might come back. right? Because of the conditions of the environment. So you may really have physical body again, and then the mind and body will combine, then you will become a being, what we call being a substantial being. Actually, the mind is more like a state of the mind, and there's no true form attaching to it, and it's not bound by any form, any boundary, space, and time, and so forth. That is, the state of the mind in its purest form can get you to the highest state of spirituality, which is perfect enlightenment.
So it'll create another environment. But those, so for example, if this building is destroyed, and we all as a community want to create something in common, like a temple or church, and we create another one. When this earth is destroyed, there is the desire to create another environment to exist. So slowly things will form and create a suitable environment for the beings to come. There will be various types of beings. But in other words, to answer your question, another environment, because of our desire to exist, will create another environment. Not instantly, but over time. Yes. You have a question? Yes. Can we be reborn many times?
Yes, it's like a cycle. Yeah, because the state of the mind never dies. Remember, it goes beyond time and space. So it depends on karma or what you have done, whatever that attracts you to the next life. So that's why what you do and what you think and even how you behave is very important. And that's part of the discipline of being a spiritual practitioner.
We have about 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes left. So
What question you can?
oh, hold on. We'll get to her. Is that okay? Can you go back and forth on Nirvana and between Earth and Nirvana, for example?
Okay, when you practice as a spiritual practitioner, there are two realms, what we call the mundane realms or the worldly realm, and then the holy realm. So once you got to the holy realm, you have become your own master. You're in charge of your own destiny. You're in charge of your own karma. Okay, so that's the advanced stage of being a holy person and still being in the non-holy state. You're, striving to be to get into the holy state. So there's the holy and the worldly. Okay?
So in terms of returning to help other people, yes, but not returning to be reborn again to suffer. Then no. Once you enter Nirvana, meaning once you achieve state of no suffering, you don't suffer because you see things clearly. You don't do evil karma to create suffering, so therefore there is no suffering. But you do return from Nirvana if you are Bodhisattva wanting to help people, to go back to this earth, for example, to help other people. But you don't return to suffer. Does it make sense? Question?
Can you reincarnate forward or back in time?
Can you reincarnate forward or back in time? You go travel in time.
I don't think that, we can go back to the past because there is a natural law of the law of a natural order. So you can go back in time, so to speak. But with supernatural powers or transcendental sight, you can see the past, but you cannot change it. Does that make sense? You can see the future, you can see the past, but you may not be able to change it because of collective karma, because of fixed conditions. Okay?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the questions because these questions are very profound. Because it asks you the question, it makes you question what is time. Because when you sit here and you think about the past, you are living in the past. Some people cannot get rid of the past. For example, their brother or somebody say something very annoying and they get upset. And it's been 3 years and they still think about it. They still live in the past. So in a way, you are going to the past all the time without knowing. Or people have wondering thought. They keep thinking about the teacher's lecturing, but they keep thinking about lunch. They keep living in the future. You know what I'm saying? So it makes you question what is time. Yes, question.
After death and reincarnation, after death, do you immediately reincarnate?
After death, can you immediately reincarnate into another realm?
There are some conditions. If you have done a lot of good and you are qualified to be reborn in the different levels of heaven, yes, that's also immediate. Same thing if you've done a lot of evil, okay, because the force of evil is so strong, it just pulls you down at the moment of death. And then that is also immediate. Okay? So it's immediate rebirth, when you done a lot of good and you deserve to be in heavens, and or when you've done a lot of bad things, evil things, and the force puts you down to hell. Okay? Otherwise, it takes about 1 to 7 weeks for the passage to cross over, for the crossover passage. Does that make sense?
Is a Buddhism poly or non-polytheistic religion? Meaning believe in God or believe in many gods or believe in a single God, right?
Okay. Well, as I say, they are the holy realms. Okay, the holy realms are those that are free from the cycle of rebirths and sufferings, and they are enlightened to a certain levels. Okay, and then there are the worldly levels. The worldly levels is what Kenny has introduced to you: the 6 realms, the 3 wholesome realms, and the 3 unwholesome realms. Okay, so it depends on what you have done, and then you get attracted to that certain realm.
But the real answer is yes and no, because we do recognize there are heavens, but we don't. Buddhism doesn't believe there's a single source of creation.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. What happens after you die and you're enlightened?
You mean death upon enlightenment?
Yeah, like you're enlightened and you die. What happens to you?
Okay, so according to the Buddhist teachings, when you are perfectly enlightened, you're perfectly in charge of your destiny. So that means you choose the moment you die. You can actually do that, all right? Because the mind transcends everything. You can transcend worldly conditions, so to speak. Yeah, and that is a very advanced stage of practice in spirituality, especially in the Buddhist practices.
Good question? Question? Okay. Question?
If you're a bodhisattva, do you have to go through reincarnation again to reach nirvana?
If you're a bodhisattva, you have to go through reincarnation to reach nirvana.
Oh yes, well this is again a very profound question, because in the state of being a bodhisattva, you do not enter into nirvana. Because when you enter into nirvana, you get detached from certain conditions. Okay, you may not wish to come back to humanity, to serve human beings and things like that. But the bodhisattva reserve the state of the mind where they come back to serve. So they do not enter into the intermediate nirvana stage. What they're reaching for is the perfect enlightenment stage, which is the perfect nirvana, and that is the nirvana of the Buddha. So there are different levels of nirvana, if you want to look at it like that. Just like when you go to universities, there are different levels of treatment. You can get BA, you can get a master's, you can get a PhD. Okay? There are different levels in many things. Same that in the state of nirvana. Does that make sense? Thank you.
You were born as a human with some form of disability or disorder. Would that be an example of bad karma in your past life?
If you're born with disabilities,
So what do you think? What do you think? What do you understand?
what would you say?
Yeah,
What
what
do
would
you
you
think about
say?
that?
Do you think it's bad or good karma? Is it a result of karma? Right? Your question, is that a result of karma? Is that a bad or good karma? What
Yeah,
would
what
you
would you
say?
say? What do you think?
Like, if it is affecting your life negatively, if it's making you
Do you think that makes sense at all? Do you think that makes sense at all? You did something bad in the past, very small, okay, and that affects you in this life, whether in form or in form or in whatever form. Do you think that makes sense at all?
Does it make sense to
Does that
you?
make sense to you? Because of they did the bad thing, so that now they born in disability, or you know. So from the answer you answer yourself, so you know that you will do good things for your future. Right.
So if the answer is yes, then I perfectly agree with you, yes.
So that answer your question.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Question. Next.
What do you do when a loved one dies?
Oh, say again, what happens when
What
you
do
love?
you do when a loved one dies?
I didn't hear the first part. What?
When a loved one dies?
What happens?
When
Yeah.
when a loved one dies?
What happened? You one love one guy?
When a loved one dies.
Dies?
Yeah, okay, so we're talking about death, right? The question of death, right? Okay, so what happens when a loved one dies? Okay, so normally you will be very depressed, you'll be very sad, right? So that is the common situation you'll be in. But for the spiritual practitioner, they will try to bring their blessings and wishes to the dead or the departed one for a better crossover, to be reborn in a better realm, or to be guided by the holy ones to get to a better place and so forth. So we do not emphasize so much on sadness. We try to go beyond sadness. Okay, so that's why in certain practices of Christianity, they try to celebrate death. So in Buddhism, we do not actually celebrate death, but we look at it as something natural. It's a natural part of life. Being born, growing up, getting sick, and dying. It's all part of a natural order. So we think of it that way, so the mind is not affected so much. But we try to bless and bless the departed one, and the hope that they'll be guided by the holy ones to a better path. So that's what we do. Okay? So of course you can be sad, okay, but you try to go beyond that sadness. You try to do something more, okay, than just being sad.
All right, we have 15 more minutes. Why were the Four Noble Truths created?
It's not created because these are what we call the natural laws of order. Okay, natural orders in what nature's laws. So because before even the Buddha was born, there was suffering. Before there were any holy ones existing, they are already suffering. So suffering is a natural part of life. So because the Buddha understands, he has seen sufferings, and because of his practice, he understands the solution to to suffering. So suffering is a natural part of life. It doesn't matter whether you're Buddha or not, anyone can understand suffering. That is why in the highest sense of Buddhism, it's not sectarian. Okay? It's not bounded by any Buddhist organization, any thoughts, any philosophy. No, it goes way, way beyond that. Okay? Because it's all about nature. Okay? Or what you understand about nature. Yes, it's like death. No one can escape that. Whether you're a president, or you're a beggar, or you're homeless, you will experience that one time or another in your life. Okay?
How did Master Taro meditate for 49 days without drinking water?
Oh, when you meditate, remember you're opening up your mind. So when the mind is opened up to a certain sense, you are connected to that spiritual realm. So once you're going into the spiritual realm, your mind transcends the body. And then the body can survive with very minimum requirement. Okay, maybe just a sip of water, or maybe it just subsist on its own with very minimal life energies, because you're not expanding that kind of energy. The mind is calm, the body is perfectly relaxed, you're not using any extra energy. You can go on and on and on for a long period. And for the holy ones, there's not even such thing. They are not bounded by such condition. You can go to meditation for days, years, or even eons or whatever. It's up to them. They can come out anytime. But that's the advantage of being a holy one. You transcend the worldly conditions.
Just an example, if you can sleep for 10 hours, then you can meditate for 10 hours. There's no reason why you cannot meditate for 10 hours. Okay, next question. What do you do after you practice and reach nirvana?
Okay, you can read about that in the Theravada tradition. Okay, in the Theravada tradition, the highest achievement as a human practitioner is being an arahant. Okay, and there are 4 levels of arahant. Now, what arahant means is the being liberated from the cycle of rebirths, and especially the cycle of suffering. Okay, so when you enter into the highest state of being an arahant, you sever all links to suffering, mental and physical. Okay, but for the Bodhisattva and the Buddha realm, they are the highest state, and they are much more profound. But I'm sure you can read all about that.
Yes,
okay? Because it cannot be explained in simple words and simple sentences. It goes way beyond. Thank you so much.
What is it like being in nirvana?
So what do you think? You have to enjoy the life with no suffering at all? What do you think if you can have this kind of life? No suffering at all, no troubles. You see everything as being pure, as being happy, even they are going to be great, you make them happy, yeah. So that is the state of nirvana. Nirvana, state of no suffering. State of seeing things clearly. Seeing things as they are. okay, and things are still are being transcended, which is the most important element.
All right, okay, thank you. Question?
What's the meaning of life? Things on chapter 17 of the Sutra.
Okay, this stage of the life, okay, as a young person, okay, so what do you think? What is the meaning of life? What do you want out of
Happiness.
Yes. So happiness is about life. Life is about happiness. Very good. Any other things? Of course. So being with family, things that you know, people that you know, right? So this is all part of life.
But to put it simply, I would say, I would give you one word is, life is like a journey. And every step you take on this journey is a journey unto itself. Try to make sense.
Thank you. Question next.
Do you think the God is important or something else is important?
Do we see God as important or something else is important?
Okay, as I say, okay, there are different levels of understanding between the worldly sense and then the holy sense. So in the Buddhist understanding, God is just one of the level of heaven. But they are still bounded by the cycle of rebirth and suffering. Because they're still not the holy, not in the holy sense that they are liberated because of their spiritual practice. Okay? But God has the powers. And in the Buddhist sense, there's not just one God, there are many gods. Okay? Or there are many heavenly beings, if you want to understand. So God is just one heavenly level in the Buddhist understanding. And there are at least 28 levels of heavens. Okay? And same thing, many levels of heaven.
So the most important thing about Buddhism, and this is the most important thing about Buddhism, is to be able to use our wisdom to exercise our compassion. The reason we want to become Buddhists, the reason that we want to enter Nirvana, the reason we want to achieve enlightenment is to be able to exercise our loving kindness and compassion to their fullest. That's the most important thing for Buddhism, is to be able to exercise our compassion and loving kindness to their fullest. I think because those are two different components. You need both loving kindness and compassion. They're not the same, but we don't have enough time to go into detail. Does that make sense? Those two are the most important things. Why do people believe in Buddhism?
Just why do you believe in any religion? Because the rest is teachings, the way to practice, the way you feel yourself, the way you count answers, right? So it's,
We do things that are good for us.
Yeah, it's a very individual thing.
Okay, next question. Just one, we can go around.
Okay. Will reincarnation ever stop after the entire everything has died out?
Will reincarnation stop after everything has died out?
In Nirvana state, yes. Before Nirvana state, no. Okay, the cycle of rebirth is still turning, and you're bound with. Okay, imagine you have a big clock here. Okay, look at it back here. You have a clock here. Okay, so imagine you're an ant tied to that thing that is moving. Okay? So that is the cycle of rebirth. That is a cycle of suffering. So how to go beyond that? Get out of the clock. So when you get out, you're on a transcendental state. You're in a holy state. You're in the Nirvana state. Does it make sense?
It's not some external forcing you to be in Nirvana. You choose. I mean, force you to be in samsara cycles. You choose to be happy. You choose to be sad. Nobody said, "I want you to be sad today." I have no power. Exactly. Exactly. So you choose to be happy. You choose to either to be in that cycle or out of that cycle.
You have multiple lives, and every single past lives, and you don't reach Nirvana at all. You essentially just exist forever.
You exist forever if you don't reach Nirvana.
Okay, yeah, I think I understand the question.
Do you go on and exist forever if you don't reach Nirvana? You reincarnate
yes,
forever.
the cycle never ends. Just like the clock keeps going, unless it doesn't have the energy to support
That's
it.
our battery.
Yeah, it runs out of battery. Okay.
But the time goes on, right? Time
goes on. Yeah.
Your experience continues. But it's not you that experience. You will be another way because your thinking is different. So you are in a sense a different person. When you reincarnate, it's not like you put on new clothes and you're the same person. No, you're actually the same but different person. If it makes sense. Because you're smarter now, for example, you know, so you're no longer the same person you were yesterday, because you're smarter now, or you're whatever. Does it make sense?
Bodhisattva know about their past lives?
How much do Bodhisattvas know about their past lives?
Okay, remember once you're in the holy realm, you have a lot of powers that you do not enjoy as an average individual or as a worthy being. Because remember the word transcendental? Transcendental means you can go beyond. You get to see many past lives. Okay, up to a certain extent. Maybe that's 10,000, maybe 1 million, or things like that. But as a true holy one, like the Buddha and the Bodhisattva, especially established Bodhisattva, they can see way, way beyond. Not only the past life, the past lives of any sentient being they come in contact with. So that is the advantage or the benefit of being of a higher level in a transcendental state. That's the holy one special.
And the reason they know that because they have a loving kindness. For example, how can you know that person if you have no sympathy for that person? You might think you know that person, but without putting yourself in that person's shoes, understanding that person's situation, you don't know that person. So Buddha, with his unlimited loving kindness, that's how he understands things, because until we put ourselves in another person's shoes, another object's shoes, if you will, we won't be able to understand that. But because his compassion, loving kindness is unlimited, therefore his knowledge is also unlimited. Thank you. Is stepping on an ant bad?
What do you think?
An accident. Oh,
Yes.
now you're changing your.
question. So the word is accident. Okay. So if you do something accident, that means it's out of your control. So what you do is, okay, Matthew said for the ant. So in the as a Buddhist practitioner, what we say, we're going to maybe chant a mantra, a blessing, and whatever. Hope that the ant can cross over the back around in this next river. Okay? But when you do anything with evil intent, that is very, very bad. And of course, because if you something go bad, you will get a bad reaction or what is the retribution. Okay? And one good turn deserves another. Same thing for one bad turn, one evil turn.
Happens a little thing. So that you learn Amitabha, right? So when you excellently, you step on the ant and say, oh sorry, and you chant Amitabha for that ant, wish them to have a bad life. And then you will feel more comfortable because you don't intentionally to step on an ant and die. So you send a good thought to that person, to the ant, you send a compassion to the ant, then you have a good, you establish a good relationship. Eventually, you will see another person in your life, and this will inspire you because you have kindness for every building that around you.
Okay, we have about 5 minutes left. We're gonna make this quick. All right, Roshan.
Are there certain foods Buddhists can't eat?
Are there certain foods Buddhists
Cannot eat.
Not really. Depends on what kind of a level you are practicing at. Okay? So let's say you're just practicing at a simple, after taking refuge, which is the getting initiated into Buddhism, and then observing the 5 precepts. Okay, you can take anything you like. Okay, but for meat, okay, we try to take the meat that is not live. Okay, let's say you go to a seafood restaurant and you see a fish swimming in the tank. I want this fish. That's not very good as a practicing Buddhist. Okay, just try to avoid that kind of situation. We try not to eat the meat coming from animals that when we hear that they are dying. Okay, for example, we witness the killing and we hear the suffering of that animal, we will not take the meat coming from that animal. We call it sanjing rou. So how do you explain the sanjing rou?
Yeah, the 3 pure types of meat.
Yes. Yeah. Can you elaborate on that? Yeah. Because English is not my first language. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we don't want to point to this animal we're going to kill. We don't want that animal to be killed for our appetite. And we don't want to be hearing that, hey, somebody's killed in the background to serve us.
But when you take the Bodhisattva precepts, which is a higher level of precepts required as a Buddhist, you will become a vegetarian for life. You vow for being a vegetarian. Because of the compassion, you don't need meat to survive. Why are you taking the meat? Because they suffer for you when you eat them. So that's why vegetarian is getting more and more popular, because people are being more concerned with the environment, with what to take in as food. Remember, you always have a choice. I've been a vegetarian for more than 20 years. I'm still surviving. And my health is very good.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. For 3 minutes left. Question. Do you believe at a point in time where everybody will reach nirvana?
Yes. Once you become a Buddhist and you follow the path, okay, you will become a master in time. Yeah. Just like when you found the right path, you keep walking, you will reach the destination.
I just got a question.
Yes, please go.
I just got a question regarding the 3 Buddhas that are in the other room.
Yeah.
I noticed that the one in the middle had a swastika.
Yes.
And I was wondering why, and I was also
Oh,
wondering
that is a
why
sign of omniscience.
these
Right.
3
Yeah.
does not have.
Well, that depends on where you design the Buddha. Okay, so these are, remember,
A lot of things in any religion is symbolic. So when you see that sign is symbolic of being omniscient. Yeah. But even though you are omniscient as a Buddha, you cannot change karma. Remember, you can see the past, but you cannot go back to the past to change the past. That would be against the law of nature. Yeah. So in Buddhism, we do not what's it? 违背自然. How to say that? 违背
Go against.
Yeah, 违背因果，违背自然.
To go against the law.
Yeah. You cannot do that. Yeah.
What we can do for future? If you want to be whatever you want to be in the future.
I think it helps to take 1 second to elaborate on because there's a lot of confusion. The swastika is a Sanskrit word in India. It's a Sanskrit word. Swa, S-W-S-U, it's called well. Swastika is being, and ka, swasta, T is being. Ka is just the end of the word, the compounded word. So you put together, it's a Sanskrit word, and it's not used only in Buddhism, but in Hinduism and in Egypt as well, where it's a sign of some well-being. So when you have that sign, you are saying this figure represents well-being. So it's like a good luck kind of thing, where it's like completeness, auspicious kind of thing in Buddhism. So it's just a symbol. Again, Buddhism is very symbolic. Right? So it's just another symbol. Unfortunately, the Nazis misused that, and now the world hates that symbol.
But sometimes when you observe carefully, the direction may be different. Okay, yeah. Some may be turning clockwise, some may be turning anti-clockwise. So you observe carefully. Yeah. So there can be a difference. Okay, but don't be too concerned about it. It's just symbolic.
so those who have questions can stay back. Okay, yeah, if
Anybody
anybody
who's interested and has questions, you can stay back and we can have a few minutes to answer your questions, but also move on to the next destination. Okay, so the water, please take the water with you. Stay back if you'd like to ask a couple more questions. But we do.
Go ahead, come in. Come on in and remove your shoes. Make sure you remember where you put them. Remove your shoes and take a seat anywhere towards the front. Yeah, remove your shoes and take a seat anywhere towards the front. Go ahead, remove your shoes. Go ahead and take a seat anywhere towards the front. You can turn the cushions around and face forward. Take a seat anywhere towards the front, remove your shoes. Go ahead and take a seat anywhere towards the front. You can rotate the cushions. Go ahead and take a seat anywhere towards the front. On this side.
Go towards the front. Go towards the front. You can turn the cushions around. You want to sit comfortably. Go towards the front. Go ahead and take a seat anywhere towards the front. You can turn the cushions around and make yourself comfortable.
Oh, very warm welcome. Very warm welcome. This is Amrita Society. So welcome to Amrita Society. You may not know, it used to be a Masonic center. So this is a very special place. And it's a very well established spiritual center in LA. So we're here today, and I would invite you to sit comfortably. So make yourself comfortable now. And when you're ready, close your eyes and just feel around you. Remember, this is a spiritual center. So feel around you as you sit comfortably, relaxing the mind, relaxing the body, freeing the mind. Breathe evenly, breathe naturally. Let everything go. Keep relaxing the body. And as you do so, free the mind. Nothing else matters. This is you. This is your moment. Now as you breathe in, the breath passes through your chest. Try to bring the breath lower into the inside of the navel area. There's an obvious advantage to this, because if you're just breathing through the chest, you're just getting half the oxygen. Whereas if you're breathing through the whole body, the chest and the navel area, you're getting double the amount of fresh air and oxygen bringing into your body. Let everything else go. Nothing else matters. Where am I now? Here. So what is the time now? Is now. Where are you? Here. But who am I this moment? Just experience. Let yourself go. Enjoy and be comfortable. Here, now, this moment, that's all there is to it. Your moment. feel any tension whatsoever in any part of the body. So take the opportunity to relax as you breathe out. Just relax, be comfortable, be yourself. This is your moment. This is the moment you choose to be. You can be. Nothing else matters. Once you learn about this truth, that you can be yourself, that you can make the moment yours, you can do it anytime, anywhere. Anytime, anywhere, when you choose to be. Being with the moment, being yourself. Let all tension melt away. This is your choice. You make the decision. Nothing else matters. Experience all around you. Find a sense of spirituality. Something precious. Something deep, something profound. It's not so much religious as being spiritual. So be spiritual. Your moment, you be spiritual. Okay, when you're ready, please open your eyes gently. And I will hand over the mic to our Caddy Lou here. He will give us the introduction.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the meeting society called the main hall where we do meditation, chanting sessions. This is Venerable Master Hui Sheng, H-U-I-S-H-E-N-G. Hui means wisdom, Sheng means sagehood. So a very wise sage in a sense. The encouragement for the master to remain wise and to be sagehood. And then we also have Venerable Master Chang Le, C-H-A-N-G-L-E. Yeah, he is also among helping out today. And his name means constant happiness. So it's also a reminder for the master to remain happy and joyful. This is where we do our ceremony, our services. And we see here very obvious in front of you the three big statues. One in the middle is called Amita Buddha. So he's a Buddha, and on the both his sides we have the great strength Bodhisattva, and then the other one is a compassion Bodhisattva. So when you have great strength and compassion to their limits, of those limits, then you have equality represented by Amita. So you can see there's a lot of symbolism in Buddhism. And when we bow to the Buddha, we don't worship, we don't idolize the Buddha. We bow to the Buddha to uncover our qualities, inner qualities. Right? Idolizing means you take a figure and you treat that figure as a person or some super being. You bathe that figure, you feed the figure with food, you play music, you treat it as a person. But we don't do that to the statue, but we bow to the Buddha to show our respect, and that allows us to uncover our inner abilities. So before we begin, I would like to ask for 2 volunteers. One volunteer here, this side. Who would like to volunteer? Come on, raise your hand. We have a gift for you. No changes now. All right,
This is once in a lifetime opportunity to grab it.
Okay, here you go. What's your name? Andrew. And then your name, please? Ashley and Andrew. Okay, so Andrew, you follow this lady here, and Ashley, you follow Master Chang'e. Okay, so that's hopefully that helps to distinguish between showing respect, bow to the Buddha statue, as opposed to idolizing the Buddha. About respect is also part of these of this. Talking about respect is offering incense. So the masters will demonstrate to us about offering incense. Will demonstrate how he offers the incense. You can get incense. So as the Buddha, as the master offers the incense, you can see there's smoke on the incense. And that smoke permeates throughout the universe. So when we have this, when we make offering, we have this thinking of loving kindness and compassion throughout the universe for all sentient beings.
I make this offering, this humble offering of incense, to all members of the holy realms, to all members of the celestial heavenly realms, and to all sentient beings. I offer this humble incense to those who suffer. May they end their suffering. I offer this humble incense to all beings, all humans. May they enjoy a rewarding life. May they be decent beings. May they reward themselves and others and succeed in whatever they take on to.
Okay, so that's when you express your desire, and hope all sentient beings will have happiness, joy, and prosperity. So today I'm wearing this black robe, and this is type of you call uniform. It's not, but we wear it here to minimize distraction. And so anybody comes here, we all are the same. So in other words, you might be different on the outside, but when you come in here, we are all equal. That's the representation. So you may be very rich, you may be very beautiful, but when you come here, everybody's rich and beautiful. So there's no distinction in a sense to create discrimination. But we are here about cultivating our spirituality, cultivating our joy and happiness, and not focusing on who's prettier, who's more well dressed. So that's the meaning of wearing this, is to help us to minimize distraction, eliminate distractions, and to focus on something that's more important. And so we have these instruments. As part of the ceremony, the service, we have a lot of Dharma instruments. This is called a small wooden fish. This is called a big wooden fish. That's a big bell. That's a handheld bell. And Andrew and Ashley will help us to play these instruments. So the wooden fish, you will hit it every syllable. When we chant Amito, or the name of the Amitabha in Chinese, Andrew will hit every syllable. Ashley will hit every other syllable. Okay, so there are 4 syllables, and so let's try 2 rounds, or two or 3 rounds. Okay.
We'll sing together.
also a gift for you too, actually. All right, and then one last piece of instrument is the drum, and I will give you a quick demonstration, and this is an important part of the ceremony. Namo it helps to bring the mind down. As you have experience with music, and music has the ability to calm down the mind. When the mind is calm, the body is also calm. When the mind is healthy, the body is healthy, so it reinforces each other. Okay, and we also have flowers here to decorate, but also to remind us of the beauty in us. We should always try our best to bring our inner qualities, like loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, to help those around us. And so we change out the flowers to help us remind that we can always improve. The flower doesn't stay forever beautiful, but the flowers will wither away, will die. So if we don't continue to feed our loving compassion and study to increase our wisdom, we will die spiritually speaking. Meaning that we become no value to society, no value to those around us. So we continue to improve ourselves, bring out the inner qualities within us. We all have the ability to care for one another, to help one another. And that's what Buddhism is reminding us, is always to bring the best in us to offer those people, those around us. Are there any questions before we move over to the lecture hall, where you can ask questions? Yes? Why do people believe in Buddhism? Let's say that for next, or anything related to this main hall, anything. Okay. Again, these statues here remind us to live with honor, to live with our commitment, and to always protect those who need protection, meaning that they want to learn, and therefore this building, this environment is protecting us spiritually, preserving our mentality, preserving our sanity. The work can be very tough, but when you come here, it's very calming, it's very peaceful, and you can feel relaxed. Hopefully, you can do the environment, right? It's very peaceful, and that is, all those who contribute. So we all come together, we create this environment, so that we all can be happy in this environment. Okay, if there are no other questions, please rise, move over to the other side, retrieve your shoes, and then we'll have more presentation, and you can ask your questions. Okay, please turn your questions around as you leave.
Go ahead and take a seat anywhere towards the end. Go all the way to the end. Go all the way to the end, take a seat anywhere. All the way to the end, take a seat anywhere. All the way to the end, take a seat. Go ahead, take a seat anywhere. Go all the way to the end to make room for your classmates. All the way to the end. Right, keep going all the way to make room for your classmates. Go ahead and take a seat anywhere. Go all the way to the end. If you need to use the restrooms are outside, just right outside, okay? You need to use the restrooms are right outside, but take a seat anywhere towards the end. You'll make room for your classmates. Okay. Okay, I think we got everybody. Once again, welcome to the Amida Society. This is our lecture hall as well as our dining hall. I'll give you a brief descriptions of Buddhism, the Buddha and his teachings, and then we go and open the floor for questions and answers. Okay, so first of all, life of the Buddha. Who here knows the name of the prince who was born in India, later to become the Buddha? Yes.
Siddhartha Gautama, yes. What's your name? Your name? Yeah.
Your name. What's your name?
William.
William.
Okay, thank you, William. Yes.
Siddhartha. So he was born in Lumbini, in modern day Nepal, around 563 BCE. His father was King Sahodana, and his mother was Queen Maya. His name means one who achieves. So you can see that his parents had great aspiration of this prince to carry on the lineage. And that was important because the tribe that he was in, the territory that was in was very small, and there were other big countries nearby, big kingdoms nearby, and if they did not have anybody to carry on the lineage, then they would be consumed by nearby countries. So his father, King Sahodana, was very happy that he had now had a son. It was a tradition in India as well as other cultures to have astrologers to come and make predictions of the newborn. And it was said that the King Sahodana invited 500 astrologers to make predictions, and they couldn't really be definite in their predictions. The majority would say, yeah, this new prince would be a great spiritual leader or a great military leader. They didn't know which one. And so to settle the matter, the King Sahodana was advised to invite a very famous astrologer named Hasita. And he was very old, 120 something years old, it was said. He lived in a mountain. And so they invited him, and when he carried the baby, he looked at the baby, and he carried the baby, and he started to shed tears. And he realized that for sure this baby, this newborn, was going to be a great spiritual leader. And he was very happy, but he was also sad. He was sad because he was not going to live long enough to see this baby achieving enlightenment. And so he would miss his chance to meet a great spiritual leader. He spent 120 years searching for the truth, but he was going to miss it. So that's why he was sad. And so the king knew that this newborn was very precious, but he did not want this baby to become a spiritual leader. He wanted this baby to become a powerful military leader, to conquer the entire India. So his father had great aspiration for his son. So what he do? He wanted to build talent. He wanted to equip his son with all the knowledge and all the martial skills, such as fencing, archery, horse riding, all that. And we did not see how Siddhartha execute his military and martial arts ability. But there was only one time that we had a glimpse of it, was when there was a neighboring country who had a daughter that the king wanted to marry the daughter. She was very beautiful. So all the neighboring tribes, country, wanted their princess to marry the daughter, but to avoid a war, causing a war, he held a contest. That king held a contest for his daughter. Whoever won the contest would win the hand of the daughter. So that was when Siddhartha went out to challenge for the hand of the daughter, and that was the only time that we have a glimpse of his great, powerful martial arts. It was said that he was able to, from far away, shoot the arrow and be able to pierce through all the existing arrows to hit the point. And he was able to beat out all the other challengers. So lucky for us that we were able to see a glimpse of how physically powerful it was for him. And it later on really helped him with meditation. With a very powerful, healthy body, he was able to endure a lot of all the challenges sitting in meditation. So everything came all around. So So he was well learned as well as a good student. He learned a lot and he absorbed a lot. But he was not satisfied. He wanted more. He wanted to see his people. He wanted to see the country, how people lived. And so he went out and then he saw four sights. What were the four sights? What was any four sights? Yes.
Sick man,
Okay.
man, dead man, and holy man.
Okay. Is your name?
Allison.
Allison. Great. Yes. So he did see the four sights: OH, sickness, death. So he saw these issues, and then it made him kind of depressed because he recognized that nobody could escape these problems. But then when he saw the holy man, it gave him hope. So what we learn from this is that when we look at life, we often encounter problems, but we should not stop there. We should continue to look for solutions because there are always solutions. Right? Those around us can be our solution if we're willing to open our eyes. So he did not discourage. Siddhartha did not discourage that there is illness, death in this world, but he knew that there is a solution to those problems. And another thing that we learn from this is that we have to have perseverance. He was sitting under the Bodhi tree for 49 days. It was a long period of time. And he vowed that he would not stand up from the seat that he was in until he reached enlightenment, even if it meant for his blood to dry out. So he was resolved. He had this resolve to achieve his goal. So what we learn from this is that whenever we do something, we have to have determination in what we do. Right? When we see the problem, when you're doing your homework, don't get distracted. Don't get discouraged because the homework is hard. But talk to your friend. Of course, don't cheat. Don't get just the answer. Talk to your teacher. Say, hey, I would like to know how to solve this problem. Right? So we go through. We find hope when we have friends who can help us. When we have teachers who can help us, parents who can help us, we have hope. And then what we do, we just don't give the homework to them and do the homework for us, but we should do the homework ourselves. Right? So that's perseverance. We determine that, yes, I'm going to complete this homework, and then I'm going to forget. Okay? So that's what Buddhism is teaching us, is first recognize that, yes, we do have a problem, but there is a problem, and that there is a solution. Let's get help and be determined about it. Okay? So when he was sitting under the Bodhi tree, he realized that the truth about nature. And the first thing he realized, or was said that one of the many things he realized, one of the things that he realized was a set of Four Noble Truths. What is the first truth? Does anybody know? Does anybody know about the Four Noble Truths? Anybody know? Come on, any guess? Yes. Okay, yes.
Pain comes from like wanting things and greed.
Okay, we'll give you that. So there's what's the first truth about pain? Suffering is okay. Yes, okay, so this thing. Okay. Your name?
Chris.
Chris, and then you? Isaac? Okay. No worries, everybody will get a gift. Is that a gift? Okay, everybody will get a gift, so don't feel missed out. Yes, so the first thing that the Buddha realized was that there is suffering in this world. But this dukkha is not suffering, but it's really dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction is the motivation to be better. If, for example, you get a C on your exam. If you are happy with it, then you are a C student. But you say, I'm not happy with it. I want to have that A. That dissatisfaction is very positive. Right? When I see death, I see OH, I don't want to be, I don't want to suffer. I want to do something about it. I want to have a control in my life as opposed to have something else controlling us. So that's the meaning of dukkha, is the dissatisfaction to achieve something better. We know that we have the ability to be better. We can be happier. We can be smarter. We can be more compassionate. We can be kinder to other people. Right? So and without that dissatisfaction, you have no motivation to be better. Does it make sense? Okay, the second that the Buddha realized was the cost of it. What caused people to suffer? Because of desire, selfish desire. I want this for me, me. Therefore, you gather all the suffering, all the disappointment.
And then cessation is when you see solution. You see, oh, I can really achieve a state of no suffering, true happiness. If you chase after happiness, you can never be happy. Why? Because you're chasing happiness. You're not having happiness. Does it make sense? You're chasing it. Therefore, by definition, you can never have it until you stop. Say, I have no selfish desire, but I do have the desire to help other people. Right? It's not to have no desire, but to have the proper kind of desire. To have the desire to help people, loving kindness, and that's when you are happy because you have no selfishness. And how you do that? So Buddhism is very practical. It shows you the way how to achieve a state of no suffering. So we emphasize on the state of no suffering, not happiness. And that's because when you chase happiness, you're still being egoistic about it. You're still chasing something for yourself. And whenever you do something for yourself in a selfish way, suffering follows very closely. So what is the way to nirvana? Well, we follow the Eightfold Path. We do the right things. We do with teamwork. We end selfishness, and we see things clearly. For example, when you have a problem, let's say the school is full of trash, like students after lunch, they just throw trash away, and you have rats, you have all kinds of roaches, and it's no longer a beautiful environment. So it's a problem. So when we say, okay, what's causing the problem? Well, students are throwing trash after lunch. Instead of blaming, hey, you're not being responsible. Instead of blaming other people, let's educate them. Hey, it's not proper to throw trash on the floor. Put it in the trash can. That's what the trash can is there for. Right? So you work together as a team. And then cessation is, yes, if we remove all this trash, we will have a beautiful campus. Everybody can enjoy it, right? And then, so how do we get there? Well, the way, let's pick up the trash. Let's educate people as students and do things the proper way. So everybody comes and agrees to the way, and then therefore we have this beautiful environment, this beautiful campus. Does it make sense? So the Buddhism is very practical in that sense. So I guess we have only 30 minutes now. Let's open the floor for questions. I would like all the teachers, everybody to participate. This is a 100% participation base, right? Teachers, parents, please ask, maybe on behalf of the students, or maybe just ask a comment. What do you think about this, as opposed to any particular question? So let's wait. We'll go around, okay, in this order, to this way. So we'll keep the answers short, precise, meaningful, but short. It's going to be a challenge on this.
Can you make up for the bad things that you have done?
Of course. You can change to be a better person. Let's say you're an evil person before, you realize your unwholesome ways, and you want to become a better person. Of course. Everything is subject to change. It's up to you, your decision.
You offended somebody and you apologize.
And when something changes for the better, you will enjoy that benefits as well. Just like when you smile to another person, he or she smiles back, you feel good.
Does it make sense? Okay. Question?
You do good deeds for others, but you don't take good care of yourself.
What if you do good deeds for others, but you don't take care of yourself?
That is not the true sense of a practice in Buddhism. In Buddhism is you have to be good to yourself, be good to others, and be good to others.
Yeah, so Buddhism, there are 5 levels. One is to be kind to yourself, to be kind to friends and family, to be kind to strangers like grocery cashier, a postman you might not know. So that's 3rd level. The 4th level is to be kind to your enemies and foes, those who you might not like or those who might not like you. And then the 5th level is to be kind to all sentient beings. Right, so you included in that. Okay, you have questions here. Yeah,
What do the lotus flowers represent? Because I see a lot of the lotus statues are called lotus flowers.
So what do lotus flowers represent in Buddhism? Lotus flowers.
Okay, when you study the growth of a lotus, it grows from muddy water. So the muddy, well, let's say that is symbolic of something that's not so good, unwholesome. But when it grows and breaks out of the water and become a beautiful lily, it is free from that filth. So, in a sense, lotus, as in many things you will see in any religion, they are symbolic, and lotus is symbolic of inner purity because of that sense of purity. It breaks free from the filth, but it becomes its own purity. Okay? Enjoying the beauty of the world when it breaks out of blossoms. So, does that answer?
So a lotus flower represents purity. For example, if you are in school, there's a lot of peer pressure. But if you have the support of your family, your friends, your parents, then you can stand against bad peer pressure. So when you are lotus, when you're in the middle of peer pressure to do bad things, but you say, no, I'm not going to do bad things. I'm going to help my friends who are also in the peer pressure. So you understand peer pressure? Yeah, so peer pressure is very, very, it's very difficult to overcome, right? So you are lotus when you can stand up against bad peer pressure. So can you be a lotus?
Yeah,
Can you be a lotus?
add on something? Yeah. Okay, Kenny? Yeah, Reverend Chandra, add on.
Before, go back to her question, if I'm doing bad thing, why change to the good deeds? Same thing with lotus, right? The lotus is from the mud. It keeps trying going up and up to get out from the bad behavior, from bad things. And lotus become very beautiful. So go back, lotus, and your question related. So if you do something bad and you realize that if you done something wrong and you want to correct it and you want to do it better, you are the same. You're a lotus. You're beautiful. That's the one I want to ask.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question, young lady. What happens when you reach nirvana?
What do you understand by nirvana? From from either from the teacher or from your own research. What is nirvana?
What nirvana is? It's a state of mind.
What state of mind do you think? Is that a worldly state or something beyond?
She doesn't know.
Okay. So when we are talking about spiritual practice, there are two levels, the worldly levels and the non-worldly levels. So when we look at the human body, it's basically a composition of mind and matter. But for nirvana, it goes beyond. So that's what we call nirvana. It goes beyond. Okay? Beyond mind and matter. And it's very difficult to describe because it's an experience that you go through as you practice. It's not bound by words. It's not bound by beliefs or anything else. Okay? It's beyond transcendental. Okay? So nirvana state is a state of transcendental state. So when you practice spiritually up to a certain level, you will get into that state. So how do you get into nirvana? By practicing. Okay? By following the right spiritual practice, you will get into nirvana.
So nirvana here is state of no suffering, which is essentially a state of happiness. But it's difficult to say because can you say how happy? Can you even describe how happy you are? You cannot. So a state of is imagine you are happy in a non-selfish way. You're happy because you have helped other people. Imagine you take that happiness and you extend it for the rest of time, so to speak. So you are forever happy because you help people. You add value to where you go. You are helpful to where you go. Therefore, you feel no peer pressure. You are a beautiful lotus. Does it make sense? Does it make sense, young lady? Yes. Question? No question?
How can you be rebirthed as a human?
How can you be reborn as a human?
Very simple. You follow the basic decency to become a human. You do not kill. Okay. You do not steal from others. Again, you do not conduct in sexual misconduct. Okay, and unwholesome behaviors in a relationship, and then you do not speak bad words. You do not lie. Okay, you do not curse and things like that. You avoid unwholesome comic speech, and then you don't take any intoxicants. So that's the basic decency required of being a decent human being. So in Buddhism, if you practice these five qualities of being a human being, you will be reborn in the human realm in the next life.
So it begs the question, what is the human? Is it the human that you have this body, arms, two legs, that makes you human? No. Or is it that you eat that makes you human? No, and not necessarily, because there are people who have the human form, but they don't display human characteristics. Does that make sense? They cheat, they lie, they hurt other people like animals. And so when you ask what makes a human being, is how we treat other people. The Buddha gave us a guideline. Don't kill, don't steal, don't hurt other people, don't take intoxicants and delude your mind, don't take drugs, because you cannot think clearly if you're drugged, right? So the Buddha gave us a clear guideline of how to be a human. And so when you act that way, you maintain that human being. Does it make sense? Otherwise, you can have this human body, but you may not be a human being. But there are people who are become above that. They have the human body, but they are heavenly beings because they are so kind. They are so generous. Right? They are so more generous than a regular human being. They give more than they take. Right? They sacrifice for others, so they are displaying superhuman qualities. Does it make sense? But to be a human being, you have to be kind to others. Don't kill other people. Take other lives, like animals even. And don't be taking lives. Don't steal. Don't take what's not given. And don't say false speech. Don't lie to other people. Right? And don't take drugs.
Including alcohol.
Does it make sense? How many lifetimes do you have to go through to get to nirvana?
Depends, okay, because you may not be practicing only this life because of the idea of reincarnation. You may be practicing way back in your previous lives already. So whatever you practice, whatever merits or virtues you have accumulated, they carry forward. So for some people, they get enlightened very easily. Maybe they just go for a meditation retreat or an intensive retreat. They just sit there for 1 week and they get enlightened. But there may be other people spending years and years of meditation but getting nowhere. So it depends. Okay, it depends. Yeah.
So it depends on how. So your question is essentially like, how long does it take me to be happy? Well, it depends. Some people come. Some people have good friends, and they come from good families. They can be easily happy. Some people who have more challenge to be happy. Some people you have to buy them gifts for them to be happy. Some people you just say thank you and they're happy. So it varies. Does it make sense? No questions? Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay. How does the universe come to be?
Okay. In Buddhism, we try not to talk about the first cause, because when you try to talk about the first cause, you get into a loop, you get a trap. What causes the first cause? Let's say God created everything. So who creates God? You get into the kind of debatable loop. Okay. So we try to avoid that. Everything exists because of causes and conditions. And everything is impermanent. So it's like a loop, it's like a circle. Okay, so we have things forming, things are changing, and things are becoming extinct or destroying themselves, and then the cycle repeats itself. It will form again. Okay, just like the certain planets, they get destroyed. Okay, when the conditions are right, they may reform again when they are the right condition. Okay? Does that make sense?
For example, maybe to elaborate on that just a little bit, because this is a very important question. You asked a really great question. For example, let's take this bottle of water. Where did it come from? We say, well, the water company created it, right? But not really, because where did the company get the water? And then where the company did not create this plastic. Somebody else has created this plastic, and now that company is using that technology to create it. But then who created that company? Well, somebody had the idea, and he had to depend on machinery. So you can never find the first true cause, because there are so many conditions to create it. Just like later on when you become a doctor and you create this medicine, and when you ask who created this medicine, you cannot say you created medicine, because it was the teacher who influenced you, it was your parents who supported you, it was your friends who gave you the inspiration, and it was the book that you read about medicine that motivated you to become a doctor.
So you can never say what is the single source. What was it that created this medicine? You can never find it because there's so many sources, conditions to create that result. Does it make sense? So that's why the Buddhism, it's not that Buddhism doesn't know, but because it's so complicated that you can never truly say, this is a single source. This is the moment that created that condition, that result. Does it make sense? That's why it's not answerable. It's not that the Buddha doesn't want to answer because it doesn't make sense because you can never find a true source. Right? The medicine that you created 20, 30 years from now could be the result of my conversation, our conversation now, but it could be also your parents influencing, or maybe when you went to later on you go to college and you see a patient, and then you feel, wow, we need to create something. So you know what I'm saying? So you can never find the true source of any creation. All the conditions come together to create that result. Does it make sense?
I think what it's saying is everything is interconnected. Whether in a human relationship, whether in the environment, everything is interconnected. Yeah.
Is the eightfold path spiritual or physical?
Is the
Eightfold path spiritual or physical?
Is the eightfold path spiritual?
That's why it's called a noble path. Anything that has anything that has a connotation of noble in any spiritual practice, that is spiritual.
Yeah,
It
step
has
by
to-
step.
It has to be spiritual. You have to go beyond the world. Thank you for that question.
No question? Questions?
Why do people believe in Buddhism?
Because they feel that resonate with the teachings, with Buddhism, because we do not get tied down by the search for first cause. What we're more concerned with, understanding about life, understanding about how we connect with other people, how to be a better person. So these are the more practical things that we're concerned with as a Buddhist. And another benefit is when you become a Buddhist, if you get truly enlightened, you become your own master. Okay? You become your own master, you're in charge of your destiny, in charge of what you want to do, how you want to help, whatever you want to accept. You're not under anything, under anyone. You be your own master. So that is one aspect of Buddhism which is different from many other religions. For many other religions, there's a creator. Everything is under the creator. But because of no first cause, there's no such creator in Buddhism. Everything goes beyond. Everything you can transcend when you reach the highest state. Does that make sense? Thank you.
Okay.
Do you think the Theravada and Mahayana is better?
So which is better? Theravada or Mahayana or what?
Which do you think is better?
What do you think is better,
Okay.
Mahayana or Theravada?
Yeah, let me explain by giving an analogy of a simile, okay? So let's say I want to build a high-rise building. Let's say I want to build an empire building, okay? So Empire State Building is founded on the foundation, right? So the foundation is like Theravada. So without the Theravada foundation, I cannot build the Empire State Building. But the Empire State Building is like the Bodhisattva Building because it can serve so many functions. So many people can work in that building. So many things can be done, even internationally, globally. Okay, but without the foundation, there's no such thing as Empire State Building. Does it make sense to you? So the foundation is important. I cannot say that Theravada is more important than Mahayana or Mahayana is better than Theravada. It's not fair. Because remember, everything is interconnected. Got it?
What is the difference between a bodhisattva and a monk?
And a monk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A monk is just another tradition because when Buddhism was established, there are three aspects, which is the Buddha or the teacher, okay, and then the teachings or teachings about truth, which is not invented by the Buddha, but discovered by the Buddha and then passed down by the Buddha, and then the community. Okay, there are two kinds of community. One we call the monastic. They are just like priests. Like in the Catholic tradition, they are just a priest. They vow for celibacy. They vow to serve others. Okay, they vow not to accumulate wealth and things like that. They vow not to be selfish. And there are those that are the lay community, just like Kenny Lu. He's a lay person, and I'm a monastic. Okay, so when you talk about bodhisattva, it doesn't matter whether you're a lay person or you're a monastic. When you vow to serve others, unconditionally. When you vow to help others without too much concern about yourself, without being selfish or putting on conditions when you help others, then you are the bodhisattva. Okay? So what is the difference between a bodhisattva and a monk? Actually, anyone can be a bodhisattva. But a monk is, they follow a tradition of being what we call it a left home tradition. Okay, so they renounce their worldly life so as to serve better for the community and people who come in contact with them. And they try to achieve that sense of being selfless. Okay, so that is the difference of being a monk. But as I said, anyone can be a bodhisattva. When you vow to serve others, okay, or when you decide to help others, then you are in a sense bodhisattva. Okay.
Okay, next question. Why do you have to shave your head if you are a monk?
Okay, remember we have to renounce worldliness. Okay, so if I'm just like you, how can you tell I'm a monk? You cannot, right? So I have to be scientific, just like a priest. Why does he have to put on a priest robe? Because it symbolizes or represents that tradition, that monastic tradition. But if you look at a reverend, okay, he may not dress in like a priestly robe or thing like that, because it represents a different denomination. It's what a lay denomination. But for monastic, you have to follow the monastic tradition. For example, when I became a monastic, I had to take certain precepts, and they had to burn incense into my head, okay, to show that I'm an official monastic. But that tradition may not be carried on nowadays, okay, because it's very painful if you put incense into your head. Okay, but in the ancient times, they do that so they show that you are the monastic, you're not a lay person, to differentiate, so people can tell apart. Okay, that makes sense?
And spiritually speaking, when you shave your head, you are reminded to remove all worries, affliction. Right? So you no longer have that egoistic, selfish desire for things, but you have removed all the worldly things, like the Master said. So it helps you to be reminded, to be happy, to always live according to the laws of the Dharma and the truth, so that you can maintain that happiness. Does that make sense?
I want to add one thing. When we have save our head, this means each of us remind ourselves we're a monk. We cannot do the bad thing. We have to give out our love, kindness to everyone. If you have your hair and you have so many troubles, how can you represent yourself as a monk? And so every time we have problems, we don't have problems on the practicing too. So when we touch our head, we're monk. We have to let it go. We have to think a better way. We have to do in a way to help only myself and also help others. That's why the purpose of saving head. And as you see, I have 3 marks. My master said that we put incense after we took the Bodhisattva's precepts. And we vow to the Buddha that I want the body to offer to Buddha. So whatever Buddha want me to do to help other sentient beings, I will do it. I sacrifice myself to others. Okay?
What happens to an atheist
when they die? Those who don't believe in God.
I don't know. I'm not an atheist. I don't know. They have the destiny. They have the causes and conditions. That's all I can say.
Why can you choose?
Can you choose not to go to
Nirvana?
Well, depends on whether you want to engage in spiritual practice or not. What do you mean by not choosing to go into Nirvana? Are you still a practitioner in a sense?
I think you're saying like, oh man, I have to go to Nirvana. Like I'll be grounded. No, it's like a state of happiness. Why would you not want to be happy?
But it's not. Yes, yeah. I just want to add on. If let's say you're a practicing bodhisattva, yes, you can choose not to go to Nirvana. But that's another case. So it depends on what you're asking.
Question?
Why is meditation so important? Why does it show up so often in Buddhism?
Why is meditation important and why does it show up so often in Buddhism?
Okay, let's say I have a bucket of water. Okay, if the water is moving, even if I have diamonds in the bottom of the bucket, you able to see the diamonds? Or will you be able to tell that they are diamonds? You may see some shining things, okay? Things shining, oh, some jewel. Will you be able to tell that they are diamonds? No. But when the water comes down, you can, right? So meditation comes from when the mind is calm, the mind can reflect perfectly as like a mirror. Okay. From there, you can see all the problems. You can see the truths and things related to you and even to others. So that's why we meditate in Buddhism. And I think meditation is being practiced in other religions, other denominations as well, because they see the benefit of calming the mind, finding the solution when the mind becomes clear.
Okay, we have 10 minutes left. Question. What does it feel like when you reach nirvana?
Nirvana is a state of a liberation from mind and matter, and liberation from suffering. So when you reach that state, it's transcendental. You enter into that's what we call the holy stage. But there are levels of in the holy stage as well. So nirvana is just one state of holiness. You can say like that. Okay, but there are higher levels if you choose to be. For example, the highest level in the holy realm is that of the Buddha. That's what I call perfectly enlightened. Okay, because there's endless wisdom and endless compassion, and you can see the truth of any conditions of any being.
Okay, next question. No question. 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 Yeah. If you have good karma, can you reincarnate to a higher being than a human being?
Of course. Yes. Yeah. Remember, one good turn deserves another. Same thing, if you did something evil, it will come back to you. Okay? They said the karma is a bitch. So believe in that. Okay.
Next question? No question? You, young man?
What question do you have? No question.
William.
William?
Oh, did Siddhartha, Prince Siddhartha, believe any religion before he founded Buddhism?
Oh yes, he practices under many spiritual masters of his time, but nothing satisfied him. He even entered into the highest state of meditation, but it did not tell him the answer to the end of suffering, because it didn't take him beyond. Okay, he didn't go beyond. Even when he reached the highest state of meditation, and he wanted something that can go beyond, to go beyond. Okay, thank you.
Reincarnation work before life on Earth existed.
How does the cycle of life and death, right, work before Earth existed?
Okay, depends. Yeah, many beings, okay, they are what we call the spiritual beings, which doesn't really have a body. It's more like a projection of the mind. And there are beings like us, animals, who have solid bodies that are subject to getting born, and then growing up, and then getting sick, and even dying. Okay, so it depends on what kinds of beings you are talking about. Okay, so for us, we need the earth environment to subsist. And for many other spiritual beings, they need their own realms to subsist. Otherwise, it's meaningless. You can just float in the air. Okay? No, it doesn't work that way. Okay? That's if you're a heavenly being. You will live in a heavenly environment. If you're a human being, of course, you live in this human world. But you may not be born as an American. You may be born as an African and everything. So there are many differences, even as a human being. Yes, you do need that environment to subsist as a being.
But even before that, I mean, that was already the same. Just like before you were born, there was life before that. So before Earth, there was some other existence. The same process. Okay.
If some desires are good, then why does all desire cause suffering?
If some desires are good, why is it called desire? Why is it suffering that desire?
Dr. Chandra, you want to have a go? Yes， 试试看啊。好，因为有不同的角度哈，不要每一次对同一个人回答，你试试看用别的角度跟他们分享。
没关系，你先讲。
good
Oh,
desires.
desires. Why
Okay,
is it
so,
bad?
when you have some kind of desires, you want to get what's it? You want to get hold of some desire is something like something that ties you down. Okay, so when we talk about desires, there are two kinds. One is the wholesome desire. That's I want to be a better person. That is a desire. Well, I just want to be a selfish person. Okay, to do as I wish. Okay, I don't care about any other way. That is actually another kind of desire. The desire to be is a desire. But in the higher practices in spirituality or in Buddhism, you try to go beyond that desire. Because desire brings in the element of being selfish. And the highest achievement of Buddhism is trying not to go beyond selfishness. You become truly altruistic. You serve but without any conditions. You serve but without any concerns for yourself. And because when you're tied down by yourself, there's a finite. You're tied down, okay? But when your mind goes beyond everything, it becomes infinite. And that's when you enjoy the infinite wisdom, being able to serve others with perfect compassion, and so forth.
When you say desire leads to suffering, it's because of selfish desire, not the good desire. The compassionate desire is good. Okay, Ashley? Question?
Why do Buddhists wear the robes?
Why do Buddhists wear the robes?
Okay, this is the monastic robe, okay? Because of monastic, they have their own representation. Just like when you go to a church, okay, the priests, they have their own vestment. So same thing here, okay? But in the lay society, they wear robes, as Kenny Gu has explained before, in the shrine or the main hall, to make everything uniform, to make everything look, peaceful, harmony, what we call it. We're looking for the element of being harmonious. Okay, perfect harmony. So if everyone dresses the same, there's no more differences. We enjoy this sense of equality, this sense of harmony. And that is a very important element when you are in a spiritual center. Because we are trying to enjoy the sense of harmony. But you cannot do it when everything is chaotic. Okay? Because there are so many distractions. It's hard for the mind to calm down, and then you get critical of others, things you like, things you don't like, and things like that. But when everyone is the same, dressing the same, we are just like brothers and sisters, no more difference. Does that make sense?
That's also the aspect of when you have the equality, there's no fear. You may be different on the outside, but when you come here, you are the same. The same in the sense of our spiritual, not of course we can recognize the difference, but we put those differences aside and we focus on the commonality. When we focus on the commonality, we also remove a fear of being different. And that helps us to focus in commonality.
I want to ask a bit of thing. Why we put the robe on? What if you walk into the shrine and you wear a short skirt, or your body appears? What do you show respect to Buddha? You don't show respect, right? That's why we put the robe on. So we show the Buddha right there to us, for us to learn to respect. So we have to show respect to the Buddha as well. There's a temple in Singapore. Every time when you walk into the shrine, if you wear skirt, short or open, it's just they ask you to put the robe. Then they have a robe prepared for you in order for you to walk in. If you're not walking with that, they will say sorry. You have to stay outside. So that's what you show one of respect to. When we walk into the shrine, first thing we bow to the Buddha, and before we walk in, we wear the robe and go back to the Buddha to show respect. Thank you.
Question? What restores your faith in Buddhism?
You mean you were a Buddhist before, and then you
lost the faith?
you lost the faith, change change your tradition. That happens. Just like when you're a Christian, you can want to become a Buddhist, or when you're a Buddhist, you become Buddhist is not for me. Okay, I just want to become a Christian. It's perfectly natural. Depends on what you're looking for in religion.
Okay, any questions that we will run out of time?
I have any questions.
Okay, I think this will be the last question. Okay.
Do you think people who don't believe in Buddhism can still reach nirvana?
Do you think if people don't
Even Buddhism can reach nirvana.
You cannot, because you're not following the path. Simple as that. Okay? You need to follow the tradition, the path that is set down by holy ones in order to reach that noble state of that holy state. You have to follow that tradition. Yes. That's no choice. Who will get you with any question here for?
Is there a difference between nirvana and enlightenment?
Nirvana is one state of enlightenment, but it's not the whole state. Okay? Yeah.
Related to the previous question.
Yes.
So you think you can reach a better level or nirvana even if you're following there's different beliefs, there's different
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Everybody is looking for
Yes.
living a life of love,
Yes.
of kindness,
Of course.
and you know, like I think all the
Yes.
religions at the end
Yes.
are going through the same goal,
Uh-huh.
but with different steps
Sure.
or different.
Different ways of getting there, right?
So that I guess that's my question. In every religion, every belief, like, isn't it?
It's actually our religions are saying they will get to the same place. There's a destination.
To that sense of love, suffering, and happiness.
So this is quite a profound question. Okay, so let's say you're not a Buddhist and you enter the state of nirvana. Again, it brings back to the question, what do we understand of nirvana? Okay, so let's say if nirvana is going beyond the state of mind and body, if any religion can take you to there, of course, that means it's the path to take you there. Just like when I come to LA from Texas, I can go by plane, I can come I can take Amtrak, I can drive myself. There are many paths to the LA, the city of angels. Okay, but it's not the only way. But you have to find the right way. If you didn't necessarily go north, you go to New York. You never get to LA. Does that make sense? You still have to find the right direction and then follow the right path in order to reach that. So in that sense, religion doesn't matter. It's not sectarian. But you have to follow the right path. That is the only prerequisite. Does that answer you? Thank you, man, for such a profound question. Thank you so much.
Okay, you can take the water if you like. You can take the paper, but leave the pencil. Leave the pencil. So if you have drunk the water already, take with you, okay? Please take the water with you. And then as you on your way out, remember to get your gift. Everybody gets a gift. Yes.
Welcome to our Amida Society. This used to be a Masonic center in Illinois. Now it is a pretty well established spiritual center, one of the centers in Los Angeles. So this is a unique place. This is a place where you may experience a taste of spirituality. So I would invite you to sit comfortably, and when you're ready, just simply close your eyes and feel the energy. Relax the body, free your mind. Relaxing the body, freeing the mind. If you so choose, this is your moment. This is you. You're here in the spiritual center. Bring your attention to the breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe normally. Breathe evenly. Breathe comfortably. Breathe naturally. Let the mind go. Let the body relax. See if you can do that when you choose to do so. Be you yourself. experience around you, experience this moment. Where am I? Here. What time is it? Now. The main question is, who am I? And that's where the element of spirituality comes in. So try to find the answer of yourself. Who am I? Here, now, and who am I? Let all the tension in your body melt away. Let everything else grow. Because at this very moment, nothing else matters. Only when you choose to do so. The choice is yours. Your choice, your preference. Normally, there are two ways we can breathe. Normally, people typically never breathe through the chest area. So when you only breathe through the chest area, you're only taking in half the oxygen that your body requires. So we try to breathe, or bring the breath from the chest lower and lower down into the inside of the navel area. For that, you get double the oxygen of fresh air that you can get into your body. So try that. Just try. Relax every time you breathe out. Relax and be free. Just experience, just feel. Open up, let things be, as it is, as it is. Enjoy the peace and quiet. Enjoy the sense of harmony, the sense of serenity. It's so easy to get agitated. It's so difficult to be calm. To be quiet, to be yourself, to just be with whatever's around you. Just be. Now, gently open your eyes. Again, feel. Feel whatever's around you with your eyes open. Again, welcome to Amrita Society. Can you do our host? We'll give you an introduction.
All right, hopefully you had a good experience of better meditation. That's what I not part of just going to the future, not to learn new things, but to experience, right? It's part of that experience, hopefully, that will have a long-lasting positive impact that when you face the world, when you face new friends, peer pressure, that you'll be able to have self-control, be able to maintain your meditative bliss. And a practice where it gives you that result is what you can take with you, what belongs to you. So this is the main part. This is what we practice in meditation. And when we practice meditation, we focus. And I'm wearing this robe here, and anybody who comes here wears the same robe, and we practice meditation, the chanting session. And we have a lot of statues around here, and these statues are objects for us to express our inner qualities. Like Master Hui Sheng, this is Venerable Master Hui Sheng, Huisheng. Hui means wisdom, Sheng means sainthood, that's a better word, but wise, wisdom type of reminder. And when names are given to us, they are reminders. And then in the back there we have a Venerable Master Chang Le, means constant joy. His name is constant joy. So in the middle here we have the Amitabha. His name is called Amitabha. And on the left hand side is Bodhisattva. These both sides are Bodhisattvas. One's called great strength. The other one is compassion. When you have cultivation of great strength and compassion, you get to the ultimate, and that's called equality. This is what Amitabha is. So these are meant for us to remind ourselves to bring out our inner qualities. These statues are not meant to be idolized. An object to be idolized is that you take this figure, a doll, a figure, and you treat it as a person. You bathe it, you provide food every morning, you play music. You treat it as if it was a person, as a god or whatnot, but that's not how Buddhism is. We have these figures here to bring out our inner qualities. And the Bodhisattvas are reminding us that we have great strength, so we should believe in ourselves that we can do good for the world. And how do we do that? Is we follow the Bodhisattva on your right-hand side, compassion. We show the world compassion and loving kindness. And before we proceed, I would like to have two volunteers, one on this side and one on that side. Okay, you? And then this side? Anybody, any volunteer? Come on, any volunteer? Okay, you. Your name? Jordan. And your name? Huh? Haken. Okay, Haken, you go to that side. And then Jordan, you follow this lady here. And as part of that offering, we also offer incense. And the Buddha, the Master will demonstrate to us one way of offering incense. And when incense is offered, we visualize that the smoke coming out from incense is permeating throughout the universe, and that we want all sentient beings to have that joy, loving kindness to everybody, not just to ourselves, but to everybody in the universe.
I make this offering, this humble offering, to all the members of Holy Realms. I make this offering, this humble offering of incense, to all members of the heavens. I offer this incense to all those who suffer. May they end their suffering soon. May they find joy. May they find liberation. I offer this incense, making this humble offering of incense, to all beings. May they have a joyful life, a life that is rewarding, productive. And I offer this incense to all my fellow human beings. May they enjoy the path of their life. growing, learning, being better and better, and finding answers for themselves. I offer this incense to all the people I know and all those that I don't, my friends and even my enemies, because we are all the same, because we are all interconnected. That's what that is. With that, from the deepest part of me, I make this humble offering of incense.
So the whole purpose about cultivation, coming here to meditate, for example, is to bring out the inner positivity within us so that we can not only help ourselves but help other people. The middle figure here is the historical Shakyamuni Buddha who discovered, and again I said discovered, not created, the way to nirvana. And that is, and you probably have questions about nirvana, and we'll come back in a little bit. But anyways, all these figures here that we have help us. These are tools not to be treated, to be idolized, but to help us in our way of cultivation, to make us become better human beings. And as part of that, we also have tools, in our instruments. We have the big wooden fish with a big bell. And the reason it's called wooden fish is because fish do not close their eyes. So this is a reminder for us to continue to be diligent, to continue to advance, to continue to make progress. And of course, Jordan here is holding a wooden fish, a handheld wooden fish, that sorry, I mispronounced the name, but he's holding a handheld bell. So together they make beautiful melody. So what we're going to do, and I would like 100% participation, is we're going to focus on 4 syllables. Ah, me, to, for. Jordan is going to hit every syllable. Ah, me, to, for, you hit. Then on the other side, you hit every other syllable. Okay, so let's, we're going to turn this into
Just let me
music.
add something. Amitabha or Amitofo is a way to express blessing. Okay, so Amitabha or Amitofo means a life with light and hope, a long, long life. So may everyone enjoy this kind of life. So
Okay, so
that's
together we're gonna make this. We're gonna turn this into beautiful music. Okay. So what we're gonna chant.
Everyone sing together.
One last time. All right, give a round of applause to Jordan. Thank you for that, David. We have a gift for you, Jordan, and also have a gift for you. All right, hope you enjoy that. Now, for the lack of time, we're going to stay here. We're supposed to go over to the other side, but we're just going to stay here to save time, okay? And then one other important piece of instrument, this drum here is very essential to the ceremony, part of the chanting. And together they produce beautiful music. So I'll give you a quick demonstration. Namo Amito. know how to chant in harmony, how to play the instrument in harmony. These instruments are very simple, but yet together they produce beautiful sound. I'm not sure if I explained, but the robe that I'm wearing now represents there are many meanings. You may be different on the outside. You may be beautiful, you may be rich, and whatnot, but when you come here, you're all the same. We're all the same. And that's an important fact about it, is that when you come here and you feel the same, you focus on the commonality, there is no fear. Fear comes from differences. Right? When you see somebody who's different from you, there is fear of not knowing them, or fear of inferiority. But because we come here and we are the same, we are equal. So we put our differences aside and we focus on our commonality. So we work towards what is best for the entire community. So that's the meaning of wearing this robe. That's the meaning of it. Now we also have the flowers. The flowers are here to help decorate, to make this beautiful. And again, these are reminders to bring out the beauty within us. And you notice something about flowers is what? They don't last forever. Right? You have to change them out every few weeks. And what this is saying, that if we don't continue to work on our inequality, we will not be able to bring out our best. So in order for this shrine to be beautiful, we have to put in the effort to decorate this shrine with beautiful flowers. We too, it's not just a matter of putting flowers on the altar, but we have to work on the beautiful flowers within us. The way that we say things, right? Our actions. Those are beautiful flowers that we can put on ourselves to make ourselves beautiful. Don't you agree? So these are all reminders that we should behave in a way to make us beautiful. So what I will do is I will do a brief presentation. We're supposed to be over there in the lecture hall, but we're going to stay here for lack of time. And we have about 30 minutes before you have to go back to school and go home.
Oh, yes.
I agree. Okay, so do you know the name of the prince who was born in India, who later on became the Buddha? Siddhartha, yes. Can we get the gifts from the other side? Yeah. So, okay, what's your name? Natasha, that's great. That is correct. Siddhartha Gautama. Gautama was his tribe name, and he was born in Lumbini, now today modern Nepal, in 563 BCE, before Common Era. And he was born to King Sahadana and Queen Maya. They were his parents, and it was a tradition for a parent or family to invite astrologers to come in to make predictions. And what were the two predictions that, if you remember, that they made of this philosophy? Yes, either he was going to be a great spiritual leader or a great military, powerful leader. So his parents had high aspiration of him. In fact, his name Siddhartha means one who achieves. And you can see that his parents had great aspiration for him to become the next, not only next king, but the next ruler of India. So that was something that his aspiration that his parents had for him. But they were not very, there were some predictions, but they were not very sure completely. So the king was advised to invite another astrologer, very famous astrologer named Asita. Asita was 120 years old and he lived in the mountains. He came and he made a very definite prediction that this newborn was going to be the next spiritual leader, a great spiritual leader. And when he said that, he held this baby and tears rolled down his eyes. And the reason was because he knew that he was not going to live long enough to see this baby to become an enlightened being. So he would miss his chance. And that's why he cried. But the King Sahadana, his father, did not like the news at all. He wanted his son to be the next military leader. So what he did was he trained his son with archery, right, with fencing, horse riding, and the Buddha never displayed his military ability, martial arts. But the one time that he did display his martial arts ability him to get married. And at that time, there was a king who had a very beautiful daughter, and he wanted her to be married. But there were many neighboring kingdoms with princes who wanted to marry the daughter, but because he did not want to offend other countries at risk of waging a war, right? A war to be created. So he came up with a contest for all the princes to come to challenge for the hand of his daughter. So that was when Siddhartha showed his physical power, his martial arts ability, and beat out all the other contestants. So that was the only time that he displayed his military or martial arts ability. But then he was not very satisfied after that. He wanted to go into the city to see his people, and he saw 4 sites. What are the 4 sites that you already know? So how about you? Yes. Yes, so we have a gift for him. What's your name? Victor? All right, great, Victor. Gift for you. Yes, so there were 4 sites. The 4 sites that he saw were old age, right? Illness and death. So that gave him, that made him really depressed because he saw the problems. Like he realized that nobody could escape old age, illness, and death. But then the last site that he saw was a holy person, and that gave him hope. That gave him hope, right? That gave him hope. So what we can learn from this is how does this relate to me as a Buddhist? Is that when we see problems, even school, there is a solution. When you have problems, there is a solution. And that's when you saw the holy man, you saw a solution. So once we go through life, maybe school, you have to find. You don't stop there when you see problems, but you continue to work at it to get to the solution. And another lesson that we can learn from this is that you have to persevere. The Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree for, they say, 49 days, or a certain period of time, and he vowed that he would never get out of the sea, step out of the sea. And even if his blood were to be dry, he would not get out of the sea until he gained enlightenment. So he had this resolve, this determination. So what we can learn from this is, yes, when you have a problem, either at home or at school, don't give up, because there is always hope. There is always a solution, but you have to work at it, you have to be determined to get to the solutions. So after sitting under the Bodhi tree, he gained enlightenment. He found, or he realized the truth. So there were 4 noble truths that he realized. What are the 4 noble truths? Does anybody know? Okay.
Happiness.
No, not quite. Not quite. There are 4 noble truths. Yeah. Suffering, yes. Suffering is the first truth. What's the second one?
Compassion.
Not quite.
Yeah?
Not quite. Oh, wait. Okay, so yes, still actually it's dukkha. Dukkha or suffering. Yeah, dukkha is the cause of suffering, cessation, and the way. So anyway, due to the lack of time, what is teaching us is the dukkha is not just suffering, but it's a motivation to overcome what you have. For example, you are dissatisfied when you take an exam and you have a C. If you say, okay, I'm happy with a C, I'm a C student, then you are what you are. But you say, I'm not happy with it, I want an A, then you are dissatisfied with that C, which motivates you to get an A. And then the cost of you getting a C is that you didn't study, or you play too much video game. So that's the cost. And then the cessation said, hey, I can become an A student. I see my friend and such, and you have that. And then the way is not to do that, to study and so forth. So the way in Buddhism is to end selfishness, because selfishness is what creates suffering for ourselves. So if we don't want suffering, then we want to end selfishness. It's not about chasing after happiness, because When you chase, you don't have happiness because you are chasing after it, meaning you haven't gotten it yet. Would you agree? When you chase something, you don't have it yet, right? So it's not about chasing after happiness, but to get a state of no suffering. When we add selfishness, happiness naturally occurs. Okay, so we have about 20 minutes left, and I want to be respectful of your time. So what we're going to do is we're going to, if anybody has questions, if you can raise your hand so I can focus my attention, and then we'll try our best to answer your questions, okay? No questions here? Any questions? Don't be shy. Okay. Huh? How do you know when you have reached enlightenment?
What do you mean by enlightenment?
Like a Buddha. How do you know you can become a Buddha?
You will know when you become a Buddha. For example, if you want to be a professor, you have to go through this the college, you have to get your BAs, you have to get your masters and so forth, and work it from there step by step. But once you reach the state of being a professor, you will know and you'll be recognized as a professor. Same as the Buddha, through many years of practice, perfection of compassion and wisdom, until everything is perfect, everything is complete, and he got perfect enlightenment.
So Buddha is an Indian word, Sanskrit, meaning enlightened. But Buddha is like a person who is enlightened. What you realize enlightened is when you know clearly why things happen, when you understand why am I sad, why am I happy. You understand clearly what makes you happy and sad. When you have clear thinking, seeing, in a sense you have attained that state. But if you can continue that forever, then you are enlightened. Does it make sense? Yeah, sorry. We go through here and then we'll come back to it.
Does all my memories get wiped when I'm rebirth?
Do your memories get wiped at rebirth?
Wiped in the sense that they are stored away, but they're never eliminated. Because the mind goes, the true mind goes beyond body and matter, or the mind and matter. It goes beyond its transcendental. So everything is retained. Let's say you have 1 minute past lives, all those memories, who you were, who your parents were, whether you're a human being or non-human being, everything is stored. All that information is stored in some part of the spiritual mind. So no, nothing is erased. But it gets stored away when you can rebirth, because of the process of rebirth. It's not an easy process, and because of your karma. So that part of the brain is, that part of your spiritual mind, so to speak, is being stored away. But they are there.
It's stored away because you are distracted. Like for example, you remember what you ate 5 years ago on this day. You don't remember because you are distracted at the moment. So it's not that it's wiped away, but we choose not to recall because we're so many distractions. Right? We don't remember what we ate 2 days ago at 2 p.m. Right? So we have forgotten because we're not focused. That's why. It's not mysterious. It's just that we have forgotten. Does that make sense? Okay, great. I'll say again. What's the name of the Siddhartha's parents? Oh, I just mentioned King Suddhadana. Sorry, I don't have a presentation, but it's not my presentation. And King Maya, Queen Maya, M-A-Y-A.
Well, can you meditate when you're silent?
Can you meditate when you're silent?
Yeah.
Yes, it's best to meditate in silence, so you can focus, so you get distracted. Okay. How much karma do you truly need for what? To be reborn, or to be enlightened, or to be what? To be reborn? How much karma do you need for rebirth?
There are many realms of rebirth, so it depends. Okay, for example, we divide the realms of rebirth into 6 realms. There are 3 wholesome realms or meta realms, and there are 3 unwholesome realms. The wholesome realms will be like heavens, the demigods, because their powers, they enjoy certain wealth and convenience, and so to speak. And then the human realm is half of everything. And the lower realms, or what we call the unwholesome realms, the suffering realms will be those of the animals, especially wild animals. And then you have the ghost or the spirit, and then you have the hells. Okay, the utmost evil, you're likely to be reborn into hells. So there are many levels of rebirths.
For example, so a question could be say, how much karma do you need to be happy and to be sad? Some people can be sad very easily. Some people can be sad, happy very easily. And some people, you can buy them gifts for them to be happy. So it depends on different situations. So depends on how happy you want to be. Does it make sense?
What made you choose Buddhism instead of other religions?
What made you choose Buddhism instead of other religions?
I think only you yourself can answer that, okay? Because when we choose a religion, we resonate with whatever we are experienced through that religion. Whether with the people, with the teachings, or with the whoever is in charge or whatever. So yeah, it depends. It's individual, okay? Yeah. So why do you choose to be a Buddhist? Well, you may ask, what are the benefits of being a Buddhist? First of all, with a Buddhist, you are striving to be not only a believer. You're trying to go beyond that, take a step further, and be a spiritual practitioner. Because you want to be like a Buddha, or like to be an enlightened one. And you have that opportunity. So in Buddhism, you learn to be your own master. You learn to be in charge of the destiny, not under any god, any gods, any providential powers. You be yourself. You be your own, you be your master. So that's one of the special benefits that differentiate Buddhism from many other religions.
What about this section? Do you have any questions?
I think we do one question per row.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we rotate.
Okay.
Because we have we have some time for one.
Okay, question. What did Siddhartha see to become enlightened? What did he see? What did he experience to become enlightened?
Oh, in order to be enlightened, a person has to find the answer to end sufferings. So enlightenment means that you transcend from the worldly stage of existence to that of the perfectly spiritual existence without any suffering. Suffering in the sense that you are no longer bound by the cycles of rebirths. You are perfectly in charge of your destiny. Okay, whatever you want to do, where you want to be, you have that kind of power. So that is enlightenment. And you have that wisdom and compassion. The endless compassion to serve others when you have to, and the wisdom to understand whatever causes and conditions, whether in yourselves and in others, and even in non-human beings. You will have that kind of wisdom when you become enlightened. And there are many levels of enlightenment as well.
So for example, you see $5 on a table, and if you are enlightened to say, if I steal that, then I will bring bad karma to myself. So at that moment, you say, I'm not going to steal until you are enlightened. A small enlightenment, right? So you imagine if it deals with the world bigger, then you know how to handle it. You're not confused. It's like, should I do this? Should I do that? Then you are not being enlightened because you are confused. Should I follow my peer pressure to do bad things? Should I go out and drink, or should I go out and help people? So when you are confused in doing things and you're not enlightened, when you say, sure, this is what brings benefits to other people, then you are enlightened in that moment. And then when you can do that for the rest of your life, then you are, in a sense, a Buddha, because there's no confusion in how you live your life.
There is a basic principle though. You have to relinquish all evil, do no evil, do only whatever is good, serve others and help others. So these are the qualities when you need to become enlightened on the spiritual path. They are conditions, so to speak.
Okay, we come back, okay? We didn't do this role. Okay, go ahead.
How did Siddhartha and others, how did they meditate and focus on one thing with a lot of distractions?
How did they, Siddhartha and others, focus, meditate with a lot of distractions?
Just like what we did when you first came here, okay? You chose to meditate, you chose to be with the moment, you choose to be here, now, and this moment, and that is meditation. And you persist in that, and your mind becomes clearer and clearer, and you see the causes and conditions, you realize that there are different levels of realities. The state of the mind goes higher and higher. Eventually, it goes beyond mind and matter, and you enter what we call the transcendental stage. Okay?
So you decide. There are a lot of distractions, but you don't have to be distracted. You can decide when you have strong, determinism, resolve, and you are focused. Say, I'm going to do this. Right? Okay, we'll come back to you. We'll go this road, and we'll come back. It's the future back time. Any questions here? Questions? Okay, this road will come to you, please. Any questions? Okay, you. How did Siddhartha sit under the Bodhi tree for so long without food and water?
When you're in a spiritual state, the body exists in with very minimal requirement of life energies. So let's say we're in our everyday life. The body is changing so much because it expands. We use up so much of our vital energies. But when you're in a spiritual state, everything becomes clear, everything calms down, everything becomes equanimous, or you enjoy the perfect element of equanimity. So the body doesn't need a lot to subsist or to survive. You don't even need food and water because the mind and the body is perfect harmony, and the body relies on the mind, and in the sense that the mind will take care of the body when the mind is in a very pure state. But it doesn't mean that you won't have to eat. That means in the transcendental state, you can remain as long as you need to, or as you wish to. But once you come out of that state, you will be an average human being again. You will have to eat and drink to survive, and even to sleep. Okay?
For example,
yeah, go on.
For example, how often do you drink water? Once an hour, right? But when you're sleeping, when your body is calm and sleepy, you don't drink water you can sleep for 10 hours. So if a person who can sleep for 10 hours can probably meditate for 10 hours without feeling tired, without needing to drink or eat, right? So, but imagine to take that and you absorb it into deeper meditation. Of course, you can expand it to days and months.
Sorry, I have a small reminder. If you want to sit comfortable, it's okay, but not lying down in the shrine. Thank you.
Okay. Questions? Yes.
What is the symbol on that?
Swastika, on the chest of the Buddha.
Yeah, on that chest, because I can see their necklace on those two, but on that chest, it's like a symbol.
Yes. So what is that symbol?
You're perfectly correct to say that it is a symbol. Okay, so when something is symbolic, that means it has a meaning behind it. So in the Buddhist tradition, that symbol is a symbol of omniscience. That means covering everything, knowing everything, being able to do many, many things. Omniscient. It says all-knowing. So the Buddha, when he attains the perfect state of enlightenment, he is an all-knowing holy person. Okay. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean that he can change things that have happened. The Buddha can do many things, but he cannot change a karma. Because it is what you are. For example, when you are hungry, I cannot eat on your behalf. But I can show you where to eat, what food to eat, and even tell you the nutritional values. So that is the function of the Buddha. He shows us a path to walk, to follow, to practice, until we reach that transcendental state. But we have to walk the path.
So swastika is a Sanskrit word in Indian language, and S-W, means being or well, and sita means being, ka is just the end of the word, so swastika means well-being.
So that is well-being the symbol?
Yeah. Not only Buddhism, but Hinduism uses that symbol. The Egyptians also use that symbol, so it was a very beloved symbol until the Germans, the Nazis, took over and abused that symbol to turn it into the Nazis' symbol, and then the world now is hating that symbol. But that symbol means well-being. Right? Now, it has nothing to do with violence. Okay, how will we go with this? Any questions here?
Benjamin has a question.
Okay. Yes.
What does your religion taught you?
What does your religion teach you, or what has it taught you?
As I said, no evil, only good, happens to others. That is the basic tenets of Buddhism. And then from there, okay, you learn to purify yourself spiritually. Okay, you learn to live a more rewarding life, a positive life, a productive life. If say life is a journey, you learn to enjoy this journey and learn to grow from this journey. And then learn to be a better person. That is basically the teachings of Buddhism. And you learn to be your own master, eventually and ultimately.
So parents would like you to participate as well. Ask maybe on behalf of the students, make it fun. So ask questions, or maybe not necessarily questions, but comments. So to make it fun, okay, we'd like all the parents, everybody to
Anyone can join in, okay? Anyone can join in.
Teachers.
yes, teachers and parents. Let's make it fun. Okay, questions. If you don't reach the bottom, you keep going, reincarnate in rebirth.
Yes, you do. Yeah, yes, you do. Yeah. You're stuck in a cycle, so to speak.
Yes. Who is the happy Buddha? Where did he come from?
In the Buddhist tradition, the happy Buddha is the Buddha, the coming Buddha. Okay, they said that after certain years, after certain eons, the next Buddha is going to come. Yeah. A lot of Buddhas will choose to come to this human world because they have very deep connections with the beings on Earth here. And Earth is a very ideal place to practice it spiritually. It has an ideal environment, it's beautiful. Okay, you have the West, you have the East, and they can all come together. You have different nationalities, different ethnicities and everything. So you can find the perfect element of harmony. So that's why the Bodhisattvas, they choose to come to the our planet Earth, on our human realm, to become enlightened. And this also reminds us that we have the ability to become a Buddha or to become enlightened when we choose to be and walk the right path. So Buddha is like us, but only because of his enlightenment, he's in the holy or higher level. But he became a Buddha when he was in the human form. So that's why all human beings, and indeed all beings, are equal in that sense in the Buddhist tradition.
So the happy Buddha has, his real name is called Maitreya Bodhisattva, meaning the friendly one. And in the Chinese tradition, he took on the shape of a very happy person with a bag. He would give out candies and treats to those in the village. But when they found out that he was Buddha, he left. And in India, actually, he was not a one with big belly, but very muscular figure. So he has different appearances. But his name means Maitreya Bodhisattva. We'll come back to you.
I want to add on one other thing about Happy Buddha. You see the bag that he has? Whatever he wants to give to people, he can get it out. And also the other meaning is he can pick it up, but he can put it down. The same thing when you have problems. You want to bring the problems up or you want to let it go. So it's on you. So the big bag is meaningful.
What are the fruits, apple and oranges on the table? What do they need? What are the fruits?
Yeah, just offerings. Just offerings, yeah. We just make sure that the fruits are fresh, okay? Yeah, remember, a lot of things in any religion, that's symbolic. So we're making offerings of this, and then at the same time, we are reminding ourselves that may there be less and less hunger. So when we take in a meal, may we be grateful, because we have we enjoy this kind of meal, and so forth.
Yeah, like the master says, very symbolic. Another symbol is the cost-effective fruit. So the fruits that we want, sweet fruit, we have to do sweet, skillful things, kind deeds to have sweet fruits. So the fruits remind us to always observe the law of cause and effect.
Thank you.
So the symbol that's on
Swastika.
but I noticed when I looked up swastika, it's a mirror image. It's not the same.
The Nazis they flipped it and they tilted it a little bit. Yeah.
So
They completely misused a symbol.
yeah,
Or-
so that's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah, because it's a symbol of power in the sense of well-being, right? So he wanted that to symbolize his party to be a party of power. So symbols are very powerful. When people see something, they can understand without saying too much. So that's what he was using to empower his own party.
Right. For me, it was just that some people don't know that it's different
Yeah.
because we saw a kid draw it before and they thought the kid was doing like
Yeah.
a white supremacy thing.
Yeah.
But they were Buddhist and
Yeah.
they were drawing
Yes.
the symbol as a completely
Yeah,
different
you're
meaning.
correct.
So
You're
I
correct.
just thought it was very interesting.
of the students.
Sure. What's the hardest practice or like principle that you have on your daily life to execute as a Buddhist?
As a Buddhist, what's the most difficult thing to go
To live by.
to live
in your
by,
daily life.
to live as a Buddhist? What's the most difficult thing?
You're the neighbor, so.
Everybody's different. Everybody's different, right? What's difficult to you may be easy for me. What's easy for me may be difficult for you. So, but for me, yes, I mean, expressing our loving kindness unselfishly, because we always have this ego to worry about. And studying Buddhism, we have to remove the ego. And so that's a very difficult thing, is to remove our ego. To say, I do this not because there's something that I can get from it, but I really care for that person. So that is something that I challenge myself every day to improve. Okay, yes.
As we study the different religions, gender plays different roles and different positions of importance. What is the position of women in regards to Buddhism?
What is the position of women in Buddhism?
Well, we're just human beings, so it really doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. Okay, so let's say for a female, they are 感性的时候.
They're sentimental.
They are very sentimental, and then for the males, the gentlemen, they are more
rational.
Rational. So these are the characteristics, not because of religion, but because of the structure of being a male or a female. So it doesn't matter what function you serve in any religion. Okay, you serve accordingly to to whatever you feel right, whatever you feel comfortable with yourself and with others. And so in that sense, any religion or any service in any religion, they are great people and they're honorable people, because they try to serve without being selfish. They try to help when people need help. Yeah. So the same thing goes in Buddhism as well.
So one historical fact is that the Buddha or Buddhism was the first order to open themselves to women. They allowed women to take an important part. So Ananda, the Buddha's personal disciple, encouraged the Buddha to accept the women into his sangha, his own stepmother. But the Buddha initially declined due to safety, because at that time the monks had to wander around. It was not safe for women to be wandering around the forest. But Ananda asked the Buddha, is it possible for women to achieve enlightenment? And the Buddha categorically answered yes. So in other words, women in the Buddha's eye are as capable as a man. And so women played an important part. In fact, under the women's disciple, he has a male disciple who had the most utmost in supernatural ability. That was also his nun, also achieved supernatural ability and achieved arhatship, which is like the fourth level of sagehood in Buddhism, meaning they are able to be liberated from the cycle of life and death. So in Buddhism, women are capable in achieving what men can achieve. And we think about civil rights starting with women's rights in 1920s, but no, women's rights started with Buddhism 3,000 years ago. And that's a historical fact that many people not commonly talked about, but civil rights movement for women started 3,000 years ago in England.
You said that you don't idolize the statues, but why do you put offerings there?
What are you offering? Why do we, if we don't idolize the statues, why do we make offerings?
As I say, it's a reminder that, okay, we have the ability to give. We should remind ourselves to be grateful at all times. So whatever is being offered, we will serve in the dining hall for everyone. Whoever comes here, when they join in a Buddhist event or whatever, okay, when it's lunchtime or mealtime, we share the fruits. So the fruits are not really for the statues here or for something we cannot intangible or whatever, no. It's just a symbolic of our offering, of a reminder of being grateful, and then share it with others when we can.
Yes, so does it make sense? Okay. more questions before you have to go back to school, to the school? Any questions here?
Question. On the left side, why does the bottle?
What's the bottle? What's the bottle mean? The Bodhisattva is holding the bottle of water. The bottle. Oh, that bottle is, so the Bodhisattva represents compassion. And that water is called sweet dew, where if you can have a taste of it, it's a taste of freedom. So the bottled water represents taste of freedom. Right? So that's what it means.
But also in her suffering, if the water touches the woman, to send beings that in suffering, so the water touches that, and the water becomes very cold, and it cool down the suffering of the sent beings.
You can think of it as being spreading holy water. Why do we have holy water in churches? Because we have to walk away the evil. Okay, so no ordinary water will do, because we need that element of holiness in order, to fight against evil, which is a very strong force of unwholesomeness. So sometimes we rely on the powers of the holy ones to guide us from the water of evil or to get into a bad situation.
Okay.
So it's symbolic again, yes.
Okay, we are out of time. We'd like to ask some more questions. You can always come back next day, next week, whenever you have time, and we can talk more, but I think you have to go back to school. So please rise, retrieve your shoes. We have a gift for everybody. So on your way out, make sure you get a gift.
Can you make sure to put the question back to original, just, but the thing,
Which I asked